Aveda. Stay in your section. Stand by for the Love Zone coming up next. Co-hosts Nikki Edmonds and Shamak Leon. That's coming up. By the way, you can catch us on Facebook at facebook.com/Rev-Up 97.1.
Rev-Up St. Lucia is located at Unit 4, Gablewoods Mall, Sunny Acres, Gas Street, St. Lucia. Tune in to us at 97.1 FM and online at RevUpSlu.com. Call the studio at 572-9710 or WhatsApp 287-0971. Or Rev-Up office numbers are 572-0383 and 572-0215. Rev-Up St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners and viewers in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you on Facebook. Welcome to another Love Zone. Only on Rev-Up St. Lucia 97.1 FM. Online, we're at RevUpSlu.com. Catch us on Facebook at facebook.com/Rev-Up 97.1. Every Friday at this time, we have the Love Zone, and it features yours truly alongside Nikki Edmonds and Shamak Leon. Let's say good morning to our co-hosts. Good morning, lady and gentlemen.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night to all our listeners. Welcome to the Love Zone. It's a pleasure being here. Relax, kick back, and enjoy the show.
Yeah, Nikki, I see you thinking international. You're saying good morning, good afternoon, good night.
I'm following you.
Good. That's a good person to follow, you know.
Yes, I know.
I hope Shamak feels the same way. Shamak, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
Happy Friday to your listeners.
How are you doing, Shamak?
I'm
good.
One? I'm in a better place today.
Oh, that's good. That's good. How are things going with your particular situation? How's that coming on?
Which situations? I have quite a bit.
The latest, whatever that is.
Everything is good. I mean, right now you're in your work mode because it's Christmas and staff parties, decorating, so you're in that creative zone. So I don't think anything can distract me at this point.
Let me just use the opportunity, Shamak, to ask you about your work on decorating and so on. I know you get a lot of work. So what exactly do you do?
I'm a full-time event planner and decorator, how you want to call it. So we do a lot of special events, weddings, graduations, conferences, and stuff like that. And then when you started in a small scale, but I try to outdo myself every time I do a job. I don't take it for granted. You still get nervous after 25 years doing it. And then for me, it's always about impressing the clients, and you try to get that wow factor every time you do a job. So sometimes the clients say I'm expensive, but it's not expensive. We try to impress, and I think I cannot put my name on something and do something mediocre. I want you to be impressed, and when you're working to get that international feel. I mean, like my last job was a Jamaican company. We did an event at a particular hotel, not mention name, that'll be a plug. And then they were very impressed. I mean, when you got the voice, and I was like, wow, you actually nailed it, because you did a job for somebody you never met in person. Somebody recommended me. And then you were very impressed. She was like, wow, she just trusts me. By the time I explained, we had a consultation over the phone. And like when you do a consultation, you get a feel of what exactly the client is looking for. And if the client understands that, then you bring it to life, because it's your job as the designer or the event coordinator to bring that space to life, and I can transform any space that is brought to me.
Okay, we'd like you to transform our space in there.
We'll have to do something for Christmas. Give it a little Zeus.
Good. So your event planning and so on, is that related directly to your shop that you have?
Well, actually, we have two businesses. The event planning is Shamak Events and Design, and the fabric store is called Couturier. The fabric store is only 5 years old, but Shamak Events and Design, I mean, was born after I left Valmont. Not left, you fired me after Valmont fired me a couple of years ago. But then, Valmont was like, you came there as a creative person. Actually, we started working there as a porter. But I think that was not me carrying boxes. I mean, like when I see, especially men, I used to drop the boxes and pretend like I'm shopping. But that's not what I wanted to do. Then you was in the back store, you stayed a couple of years, and then you worked as a merchandiser until you became the marketing manager, because I work with Mary Edwards, she's Springer now, and I worked with Nadia something she was signing, and it was a good experience. I mean, doing the show windows and stuff, bringing it to life. I mean, like, it was very involved in the company that people actually at one point thought you was a Valma, but I was just very passionate about what you do, because I think when you work in somewhere, you have to pretend like the business is yours for you to get growth and to feel comfortable in it.
Okay, Nikki, I know you're involved with the Blind Welfare Association, right? So what exactly do you do there?
Okay, well, I'm no longer there.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while. Yes.
Was it like Shomak that they fired you? No, just joking, just
No,
joking.
yeah, they did.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you serious?
They were doing some restructuring, and then they let people go, and I happen to be one of them.
Okay,
So,
all right.
yeah.
Well, that's not fire. That's not fire. Yes.
What's the difference?
Yeah. I guess all of this is
it's
a process
different.
of like, and sometimes guess what? If I did not get fired, I would still be there carrying these little boxes with a little bit of money. But now you're a boss.
I guess
I
when
can go
one
and
door
have
closes,
sushi.
another one
You know,
opens.
you're in a different level. You're disappointed. Excuse me, for the first couple of days,
Yeah.
the couple of weeks, and after it's like, wow, now I'm my own boss. I'm not a morning person, so I get up 5 o'clock. Sometimes you go to the gym. I start working at 9 o'clock. I mean, like, if I was working for somebody, I wouldn't be here. I am my
Yes.
own boss. You can do what you want. You have people call you Mr. Lee, or they give you a schedule for the day. You have an assistant, so it's a nice feeling. You get up, you travel, you do what you have to do. But I guess you have to work at it, and it's a lot of sacrifice to do it, and then you have to want it and don't take it for granted.
So Nikki,
Hey.
I mean, what were you doing at the Blind Welfare Association?
I was a receptionist there.
Oh.
Yes. So.
How difficult is it? Because I was talking to a lady who's confined to a wheelchair, and she was telling me she'd like to appear on this show one of these days, because she says people in her position have it very, very difficult getting dates. Right? So has it been, I mean, you know, you have some visual issues. How has it been for you? I mean, getting guys to be interested and so on.
Honestly, Andre, to tell you the truth, anything can be a challenge, but it's how you perceive it. And I don't, you see, for me, I think a lot of, like, I have a lot of personal issues. I have a lot of demons to fight. I can't lie. But then it's like you have to grow. You have to kind of move from one level to another. It has been challenging, but guys are not difficult to find. It's just being able to maintain, you know, like healthy relationships. That's the challenge. That's my challenge. You understand? So I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't think visual impairment has, you know, like much to do with it. It's the person you are. It's how you perceive things. It's how you internalize things, and you know.
There's some guys who probably just for one-upsmanship would date somebody who has some sort of challenge, whether it's visual, maybe the person is confined to a wheelchair. And they know that they're not very serious about the relationship, but they'll do it for fame or just out of kicks or whatever. I mean, that must be really disconcerting for people like yourself.
But that's where we come in. We have to see that that's what it is, and we have to, you know, ensure that we don't get, you know, entangled with people like that. I mean, if at the beginning you don't see it, fine, but then when you see it, then you have to be the one to cut it off, because you're only going to be, you know, getting hurt. The other person doesn't really care. I mean, there are some very genuine people out there, don't get me wrong, because you look at these shows, you know, like where people are, you know, like in a relationship with persons who have various disabilities, and they're genuine about it. You know, they love the person for who they are, you know, and I think we need to learn to love people for who they are, see the divine being in everybody, regardless of, you know, like skin color or, you know, like whether the person is disabled or not. So again, it's a growing process.
So for people like you who have these visual issues and others who are completely blind and so on, I suppose things like looks and so on obviously don't matter. I mean,
it wouldn't matter. It's like you have to go beyond that. You have to really feel something beyond looks, because for persons who see, I guess, like it's for looks, but a totally blind person or somebody who's visually impaired like myself, I think you have to go beyond that. Now, sometimes we hook up with people who probably, didn't have good intentions. But for me, that's a learning process. I don't look at it as a bad thing anymore. I think it's a learning process. And then you can see exactly what it is you want and what you don't want.
So when you meet a guy who's interested, do you take your hands, touch his face, and check all the contours and things like that?
No, because the thing is that I have some vision. It's limited. But if the person is very close, I would be able to distinguish certain features and stuff like that. So, but it can be very challenging because people who are low vision, persons who see, they figure, okay, well, he or she can see, so we kind of bypassed. But if it's a totally blind person, then you have to make provisions for that person because they cannot see. You understand?
Well, hopefully we'll be joined at some point by this other person I mentioned to you.
Yes.
Yeah, so because she says she's having a rough time getting dates and so on.
Imagine that.
Yes. Alrighty, well, we plan to talk about something which I think a lot of our listeners and viewers are going to be very interested in, this issue of a relationship. Does it have to end the moment cheating begins? So does a relationship have to end the moment cheating begins? I think I know where Nikki's mind is on this particular one, because after listening to you for the last few weeks, you sound like you're very understanding, very forgiving, let's try again kind of thing. But I did a little checking in the context of what we're talking about this morning as far as the meaning of cheating. And that's what I found out. That's in the context of relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife thing, right? Cheating is when your partner has an emotional or sexual relationship with someone else without your consent. And I noted her emotional as well. So it wasn't just a question of having sex or anything like that. There's also the emotional. I think I remember last week Shamak was going down that road. So based on the definition of cheating, when your partner has an emotional or sexual relationship with someone else without your consent, that is cheating. So the first question for both of you is, what led to the cheating, and also why do you think people cheat?
Shama, go first.
Why quiz for me?
That's two loaded questions.
Hey, you put me in the pot of hot water there, girl.
Don't get burned.
Yes.
I think, what was the question again, Bosie? That one hot today.
Okay, on first one,
Yes.
why do you think people cheat in the first place?
I don't like the reason why. I think sometimes for me, I've cheated. I mean, I've been in relationships. No, for me, I think I'm somebody I don't lie.
I like you.
I say it how it is. You cannot beat me. I've cheated, and sometimes I do it not because I do it because maybe I wanted to experience and maybe what I saw I like, and maybe the way the person approached me. Maybe there's something we call a man a hot muscle. The muscle was hot, so I wanted to try something. But then I was looking for a relationship. Maybe I just wanted to eat a different barbecue for different flavor. Maybe another time, no strings attached, I go and do my business, I just say thank you and I go.
You remember last week we were saying about planning to cheat.
Yeah. But it's not planning, but sometimes, no, I like that, but sometimes I've been places and in person meet, maybe afterwards we talk and stuff like that, and I say, okay, wow. Yeah, and then for other day, that thing coming in your head, and it's like, okay, I say,
what's coming in your head?
What the person said and stuff like that, because I've been walking in St. and people approach you already. I was going to the bank and this guy said, I like what I see, and I find it was so sexy the way he approached me, and I was like, okay. I say, serious? And me I said, okay, if they had kidnapped me, I see the man vehicle parked there in the boulevard. I sat in it for a little while. I said, okay. And when my eyes look down, I say, whoa. I say, okay. And I said, okay, we can talk some other time. We exchange numbers. And it happened, and then it was kind of exciting. I mean,
But were you attracted to this person?
He was attracted not for a relationship, but attracted for the activity that would have to happen. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. People do that because I have girlfriends out see a guy and say, wow, she might like to see that man. Hey, minor. And they do it. People do it. You see the funny thing about this.
And they have a boyfriend or husband at that time?
Yeah, but the funny thing about this topic, some people, out of shame, they might just not want the words coming out of their mouth, but they would do it. that's the thing about it. Sometimes we having a discussion, then one person, I will not hold back, because at the end of the day, nobody listening, or y'all, the two of you all like a bit me. That's how I feel, and that's my experience and stuff like that. And I think you cannot lie about yourself. I think it wouldn't work well for you. It's almost like you're going to cheat yourself. And it's a feeling sometimes you don't plan. It just happens sometimes.
So before we get to Nikki, so is this something that a behavior that you had a long time ago, or do you think right now you're still ripe, RIPE, for going outside of the relationship?
I try my best. I mean, like, you try. It's something that you do plan. As I said, you try. I mean, you didn't want it to happen. You try. Because, I mean, like, you've heard people in the process of doing it. And it's not a nice feeling, when somebody approach you or they catch you. You feeling like you're tongue twisted, and stuff like that, And some people sometimes, I guess, sense or when their partner is cheating or they realize the behavior is changing and stuff like that. But it's not a good feeling to do somebody. But sometimes... is a feeling that you cannot control, because even the starting of my life, I mean, most times you were single, so sometimes the fact that you were single for a little while, when you're accustomed of being, I would say, a bachelor or whatever it is, single, so it was almost like kind of fun. Sometimes it was like exciting meeting somebody new. It's almost like trying a new pair of shoes, like, wow, I like the feeling, that kind of thing. It's like that, to be honest. Sometimes some people, when you have a new outfit, you just want to go somewhere. You have a new hairstyle, you want to go somewhere. You have a new car, you want to take a spin. So sometimes you meet somebody new and they just say, sometimes they lie. Sometimes you say, lie to me. The lie sounding so good, but you really care. But it's what happened after the lie is good. You still think about it, but it's not a relationship. It's just that little fantasy. It's like you're auditioning for a part in a movie, and then I got the script. So
now you said something also interesting there. Nikki, I'm coming to you, Nikki.
Yeah, no problem.
You said something also interesting. You said that after you met this person, right? You said the entire day, I guess you're there thinking about that.
Yeah,
that
and
encounter.
it's like so not normal. Like what? Sometimes the scene real water, and you just you're drinking water and it's still thinking,
right?
Yeah. And sometimes you do it and you feel in a shame after, but why did I do that? But then, like, something about it was different, and sometimes if people not being honest, they will say, yes, something about it was different. And sometimes I've met people, and then even sometimes I pretend like I'm not in a situation. You ask him, I say, but why you cheating your husband? Why you cheating your girlfriend? He say, nah, man, I love my wife. Just that, the little excitement out there, just have a vibe. Maybe your wife will not dance on the heels and stuff like that. She's boring. She'll just do missionary, and then the other person you meet outside give it that little flavor. But it's not a relationship. It's just like a slickling kind of side, Just a little top up on the side, just. A
top up.
That's what it is. It's not a top up, because you're there. It's not top down. It's a top up. So I think for some people it makes you alive. It create that kind of vibe. But some people will sugarcoat it and say, "Yeah, I'm doing that," but they still do it, But I guess.
So you said you did it for what reason? What is the reason? Just the excitement.
I just find it was. I was walking to the bank all dressed up, and this nice, tall, tight young man said, "Oh, I like what I see." I see.
And you like what you saw?
Yes, and I like what I saw. I make that transaction in the bank faster because I want to go back outside before I miss that train. I say, well, Jay, so I never know. It's afterwards you say, what did I do there? But still, you wouldn't say you regret it because you had fun. You understand? If I say I regret it, that means I lie in my body, I waste my time. I didn't see it as a waste of time. You understand? Because there's some things you do and you might not do again, and sometimes you repeat it. Maybe if it's not even the same person, but it is what it is.
And do you think it's possible that maybe you were physically attracted to that person? Because somebody else would have said the same thing and you probably wouldn't even bother with that. Right?
No. Because some taglines don't work with everybody. There are some taglines that are so cheesy. Like, I think maybe just the way the tone of voice, the bass, and the way the person stand, maybe, but jackpot. But to be honest, that's how I feel. People like that. It is like sometimes they have men when you see a girl or you see a man say that a man, they feel that kind of way, It is what it is, eh?
All right, so let's spend a little time with Nikki now. So Nikki, you've had enough time to think. So same question to you. Why do you think we, and I put it there, we cheat? Why do you think we cheat?
That question is like it has to be answered from a personal standpoint. So there, I have to tell you why I have cheated, because I've done it and I'm not ashamed of it. I think it's helped me grow. Been there, done that. But for me, I did it because number one, I didn't feel committed to, the people. Also, like Shamak said, the excitement. Number three, I did it because at various points in my life, like I felt at a low. You understand? I think I did it as a coping mechanism. It may not have been the healthiest of things to do, but I did it as a coping mechanism. I think that if we're very honest with ourselves, we will all come to the realization that those of us who have cheated did it for a reason, legitimate or not. Right?
Don't you think some people just simply don't care?
Yes, you have those who just don't care. They do it and they tell you, according to the song, hell yes, I cheated and I do it and I do it again. Again, like I said, people have different reasons why they did it. Sometimes, unfortunately, some don't even know why they did it. Seriously. But I guess if you really take the time to try to figure out why, you'll come to the conclusion as to why you did it.
Do you think some of us cheat because we have a problem?
Hey, I have no problem.
No, what I'm saying, like we can't help ourselves.
Definitely,
almost like
yes.
like a
no self-control. Yeah.
Yes, you just
Yes. Yes, I believe that.
I remember I was talking to a principal of a school, and he was telling me about a certain student that was just promiscuous, right? Allowing almost any boy to mess around with her. And he said to me, that's the principal said to me, she had some issues which she was dealing with.
Yeah.
Right? And she needed help.
Yeah.
So,
I can attest to that.
So do you think, and Shamak, I think you're probably disagreeing.
No, I don't disagree with that note you said, but most times if it's something like that, maybe the person was introduced to that very young or maybe abused by somebody and stuff like that. So at that time, the fact that her engine was maybe activated very early, the person put her in heat, so she maybe think that's all she needs. She don't even have to that some people don't even have to be no attraction, nothing. They would just do it. It's like a prop. They just do it for it's almost like they have a high, like there's a drug, like it's an addiction. So there's a difference in sometimes being attracted to somebody and stuff like that, and having an addiction. And you have some persons that's addicted to sexual activities. So and they don't even continue looking at no face, nothing like that. They don't even have a type. They were just addicted,
to the act.
To the act. Yeah.
So what about somebody who just has a bad habit of cheating? Just a bad habit.
That stems from something, I'm convinced. I may not know the answer as to where it stems from, but to every cause there is an effect, And if these people were counseled on a very intensive level, if they were, like probably brought under hypnosis or, regression, you can actually find out where it stemmed from, because I'm somebody who believes in past lives. And that's an attachment carried across from a past life into this current one. You understand? Nothing happens by chance.
You've heard about sex addicts already, right?
Very
sex
much
addicts.
so. There was a time I thought I was one.
Yeah, just addicted.
Yeah, but...
You have a problem.
Yeah. Or is it a problem? If we look at it as a problem, I think it... Like I said, Andre, everything happens for a reason. Maybe... Some people just have a very high sex drive. I don't think it's a problem per se, but what makes it really, I don't know, what makes it the problem is the fact that, promiscuity sets in. So they do it with different people, because if a man and a woman are together and then, the man has a very high sex drive, I don't think it would be looked at or frowned on as if... as if the person were promiscuous. I don't know if that makes sense. So it again is how you perceive it. But people cheat for various reasons, and that's an individual thing. So,
but in terms of the being a sex addict, some people just can't control it to the point where they not just with their significant other,
they go out
where they can't get enough. They just can't get enough. I've heard ladies give stories about guys who wanted morning, noon, and night, and whatever. All
That's
between.
dangerous.
There are women who do the same thing. I've heard guys complain about that already.
Yeah.
It's like the guy says he just gets up in the morning. Here we go. Lunchtime. Here we go. He comes.
But just now, I was just about to say that you can have 3 square meals a day. What happened? You can have dessert 3 times a day.
No, that's
It was
not
driving
how
him
it was
crazy. It was
supposed to
driving him
be.
crazy. Yeah, he didn't like that.
That's kind of abnormal, honestly. I mean, if it's
No, it's not abnormal. But they have different types of when it comes to that activity. There's different ways. If you want to do a little foreplay, your husband just like a policeman, he come and arrest. So it's not all the time. It's all about penetration.
The person must want it.
But there's what you call sex education. There's a movie on Netflix. I think clinicians need to look at it because at the end of the day, especially some people from the starting, they all there because I guess in the starting of the relationship, it's all like they very active on this, and as time goes by, they adjust. It's like they get tired of not tired. It's like, okay, I'm in a safe space now. We can reduce on the amount of times, but sometimes it doesn't always have to be one particular way. You can be creative at it, and it depends, I guess, is the chemistry between the two persons. You understand? They have sometimes you don't even have to say the word. I can just look at you and you know it's time to eat. You understand? So they have somebody actually have to say, we're doing something today. Look at by Hodia. Like that. That's so rough to me. You can tell me that. I know farmers and I got just the way doing something today. They know. And sometimes you can just eye contact or you just look and say, yeah, baby. Something.
See again.
So why do you think... sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, again. I seriously believe, right, that at the beginning of a relationship, okay, for some people, they will feel that hot, fiery passion. That serves its purpose. For some people, they will not feel it, but then they grow. Okay, and I think that the latter becomes more foundational in a relationship because the hot, fiery passion, that feeling will pass, and then what do you have to fall back on? You know what I mean? But again, it depends on the two people in that relationship. But when that goes, what do you have to fall back on? Seriously, if it was just about sex, then the relationship will disintegrate. You understand? And that's just how it is, because I think research says that there's a certain time frame, for that hot, fiery passion to be there, and after that it wanes, and then something else has to be there to sustain the relationship. You know what I mean?
Well, and
I think the research have a problem because I have female friends now, they in menopause. That's time they even making more local bread. They having more sex.
Yeah,
and then seriously, and they say they themselves saying, I don't even understand why. Like, why my body feeling like that? And I know growing up there, I say when people hit menopause at that time, they go to the back store, but these girls,
some of us, that's what happens. Some of us, that's what happens. We totally become.
And at that time, because of that, they feel like that. You know what happened? These women now even ashamed to even tell their friends that or even express themselves because that's how they feel, and then they torturing themselves, and then you craving for your husbands and like, what are you doing? She have a problem, like why? But it's not a problem. I think it's a beautiful thing for two people to share a space, a bed or whatever together, especially if there's some attraction and stuff like that.
So, I mean, we haven't even touched our question for today as yet, but we're getting there. So let me ask you all something. I think Nikki mentioned it a while ago. There's this passion, and you can't get enough of this person. The texting, the calling, the meeting, and so on. And then after a while, it begins to wane. Do you think that waning happens as a result of familiarity? It's like it's just enough, too much, or it's just a natural decline of interest? It just happens naturally.
It can be both. It can be like too much, okay, or it can be natural. Honestly, I think it's a mix of both, honestly. Just imagine you feeling like that 10, 20, 30 years. I mean, your body can only take so much. So the creator knew, okay, what he was doing when designing human beings, okay? Now, in everything you have people who may kind of go outside the box, meaning those people who have that extremely high sex drive, but then there's a malfunction. Okay, sometimes there's an overproduction of certain hormones in the brain that's responsible for high sex drive, or as Shamak rightly said, it could be that the person was abused from a very early age, so that can actually contribute significantly to the person having a high sex drive, but ideally speaking, I believe that, like these fiery passions, they're there for a reason, but then when they wane or fade out, that's just how it's supposed to be.
So you think this is just a natural thing?
I believe so.
So why is it now? Let me ask both of you that question. Why is it now the ladies or even the guys start to complain and say, "Oh, all of a sudden now, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, you wanted to do it before, now you're not doing it again." They're quick to complain because they think as though, hey, it's a sort of sign or mark that something is wrong in the relationship. The fact that you don't have that, whether it's the male or the female, having that drive to get together physically and so on.
But there's so much.
I think sometimes when you're dating somebody, it's about human beings are like that. They have some people you're dating or family, maybe even your child. When you can approach them for something. Like my mom, I know when I can approach her and say, what mood she in, to say, girl, I need $20. So you would know that person, but like some people just come in abrupt, they don't pay attention. That's why sometimes when you're around somebody, you have to pay the body language. When there's this chemistry, like if some people don't pay attention for detail and you just come in like you're a butcher, it's different. But if you're paying for body language, she in a mood today, you can tell. Maybe the person giving you little signs and you're not even picking up. By speaking, they have ways you can approach. Because even though that's your partner, you still have to approach with caution. Like, come nicely. Some people just want to come abrupt, And then some, especially for men, now it depends on how they were raised and stuff like that. They will just come like, they just come, do what they have to do, put their clothes and they walk out. And they just leave this female there. She didn't even reach her climax. She was just there. Now, sometimes I know women that's together 15 years, 10 years with a man, and he never made them come, neither go. So at that time, when you cheat out there, you go and get a little postman to mail that mail for you. Andre, the rest is history. That's not cheating, that's just getting your engine service.
Sure.
I know what the girls feeling. You understand? My divas out there, I feel your pain. Because at the end of the day, men just come in, and they're done. So at the end of the day, you didn't even service. Look at what changed the oil. Let me see that part not there. She have a mole there. You never saw that. 6 months you dating the person. Nothing.
Like that thing, eh?
No, but seriously. And then I've been speaking to women from growing up because they're comfortable and they open up to you. And at the end of the day, this is the problem. They just think you're so masculine. Yeah, you're giving that person money and everything. No. Did you take time to examine that vehicle? Like, come on. At the end of the day, if you're taking time, because guess what? I'm not into women, but if I have to go into women, make up from Tutmoon, because at the end of the day, you have to massage my girl. You have to get the girls, you understand? Let the water flow, and then you attack. But at the end of the day, you just come in and attack. That's a problem. You'll mash up the person, Nikki. You have to make that person think of that on her lunch break, her tea break. Think about it at that time there. My sister, mama, let me drink to that.
So Shemak, you say they don't make them come, no go.
No go, because the man is all about themselves. Because at that time they satisfied, but the woman, you have to know whether in the engine, because all type of vehicles are different. So you cannot just come in there and say like, no.
Okay, so, despite all that knowledge, right? What you just said there, do the engine this and that and the other, whatever you're talking about there, people still cheat.
But that's what I'm telling you.
So if what you're saying there was so correct, Shemak, why would it be no? If the guys who got it just right, the guys were able to do everything just right, they know when to do, what to do. What you just said a while ago, that you said if you were checking ladies, you'd have them in the palm of your hands. So I'm saying if that is the case now, imagine a typical guy who has all these qualities, or lady. Why would they still need to cheat? What's the problem?
I think most times, if you do a survey, most of the women wouldn't, because there's this excitement, and maybe even they do not once or twice or 3 times, because that man will have his business well sorted out. And some men think it's just because they only speaking up. When you hear men speak about sexual activity, they're talking about themselves. They're not even talking about the other party.
So are you saying that if this guy or this lady has it right, the chances of the cheating reduced? The chances are reduced? That what
because
you're saying?
At the time that you're creative, you're thinking out of the box, you're doing different things. Sometimes, a lady will come, she'll put her lingerie, the man will say, just so you put that on you. But she tries to surprise you when you come from work and you even take her on. Yeah, I'm tired. So at the end of the day, and somebody else, she'll tell that when they come home, the lingerie is gone. You understand what I'm saying? But it's just that from speaking to people, when you put all of that together, sometimes I think most times people cheat for the excitement. Sometimes it just happen. Sometimes you just want to drink a different latte instead of black coffee. You want something different. It's just, it can be ticklish. Sometimes you do it and you feel guilty afterwards, and sometimes you repeat it because you like the way that coffee was tasting.
Even if you felt guilty, you still do it.
Sometimes you repeat it and you say, "No, I'll not do it again." You do that. You look at it as a white lie. You're telling yourself that, but you know it's wrong, but you still do it. You understand? Because let me tell you, there are people that are cheating and they will never get caught. And nobody will even believe they're cheating because of who they are.
I'm glad you said that. I have to ask a very important question. I hope Nikki can answer that for us. Maybe you can answer it too. Is it true? And I've heard quite a few women say that if a guy finds out that his girlfriend or wife is cheating, it's because she wants him to find out. In other words, they're so skillful, especially the women. I've heard that already. They're so skillful at it that you can only find out when they are ready. So in other words, when you really get to know that she's cheating, it's because she wants you to know at that point in time. Is that true?
I believe that, but it takes a lot of work, eh?
I think sometimes...
Hold on, Shamak. Let me finish.
It takes a lot of work, honestly, to actually cover up and hide that. Yeah, I believe that.
You believe that the lady can cover up so well?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I believe that. But I'm telling you, it takes a lot of work, and you have to wonder, is it worth it at all? Seriously.
Shamak?
I think the male might know the female is cheating when she gets comfortable, so she maybe let her guard down, and she even check that. And they're even calling your man the other person's name because you get so comfortable. You're in that comfort zone. In that love zone, like, and saying, Brian, what you say? We call him John, Brian, John. You understand? You're mixing your files together because at the time it's hard to keep up into relationships. So two-person, especially if the outside person is making you comfortable, there's something you love the other person. Some people say you can't love two people at the same time, but you love that person, but there's something that outside person is doing that making you happy. Your inner being, your spirit, you just feeling yourself, you feeling complete. Now, sometimes when you're going home, you're happy. The person inside thinking is they that making you happy. Kwapa go smoke your pipe. Is the outside person that pen the wall properly.
All right. So let's just segue now into the question of the day. So you find out, say the lady I just described a while ago wanted you to find out at that point in time, right? And you find out that she's been cheating. So the question is, does a relationship have to end the moment the cheating begins, or you find out that your better half, your significant other, has been cheating? Should the relationship end at that point in time?
Honestly, I do not think that a relationship has to end the moment cheating begins. I don't think so. Unfortunately, though, it happens very often.
What happens very often?
The relationship ends.
Oh, yes.
I was doing a bit of research, and it's been said that is one of the main reasons why relationships end.
Mm-hmm.
But I am convinced that it doesn't have to end. However, the person cheating must realize that the possibility of the relationship ending is very real. So if you value what you have and you're cheating, I don't know, you're really playing Russian roulette. But it doesn't have to end. No.
Chuma?
I think it depends on. I don't think it has to end. It depends on what you and the person share. Some people can really love their partner and hold on and figure it will work and stuff like that. And some people just figure, hey, you cheat, next person. But at the end of the day, you that just leave and go might just be a doormat because the next person will cheat. How do you know that? And then you leave, you a doormat. And I think even you look at that's why a lot of women sometimes maybe have 5 children, 5 different fathers, because maybe the man cheat, you move to the next one, so you give him a next child. So everywhere you go, you drop in a stamp. You understand? So I think sometimes people we have patience when we just meet the person in the dating process, but we don't have patience when we in the relationship. So some people might just get up and leave, or some people might talk it over, and then sometimes some people say, you did it once, you did it twice, you did it 3 times. Some people might repeat it. So I guess it depends on the couple and what direction they want to take the relationship afterwards.
And people stay for various reasons.
And some people break up, they become friends. Some people become dead enemies. And
How you perceive it, you know.
I think the research shows that men have a harder time dealing with the cheating issue, although men tend to cheat a lot more.
Exactly.
But
it's ego.
they have
It's
a harder time. I think, again, the research seems to show that the ladies more, I wouldn't say forgiving, but they seem to try to understand, the guy cheating more than the ladies. They, for some reason, they seem to be. But the thing is, there's a problem. The lady would not necessarily forgive you; she would understand, but she keeps bringing it up. It's a recurring issue,
But I
over and
think
over again.
I'd rather leave than do that. Like constantly bringing it up, because if I decide to stay with you, then it must mean that it's because I want to work through things with you. And again, it's the approach. We don't sit down and ask our partner, but why did you do it? What did I do that contributed to you doing it? How could I have? We don't do that. And even if we do it, will our partner want to be open and honest with us? Sometimes they'll not want to go into detail, so it leaves you hanging. But as the person, as the perpetrator, if I come to you and I ask you, like, how was it? What is it that you were getting from that person that I wasn't giving you? You answer me. Try to be honest, because we're trying to work through things. However, I can safely say that sometimes we women, we torture ourselves needlessly by wondering, I wonder what position he was putting her in, and like how it was. Is she better than me? Is this nicer than mine?
Then you start
I think guys do the same thing. I think guys do. It's probably even worse.
Honestly,
with guys.
I don't think you need to do that. That's torture.
I think it's torture, and I don't think you want to put yourself through that, because you keep bringing it up. But the reason some people stay, independent women most times don't stay, because I've got my own money. They run. They don't have time for that. Like, hey, I make my own money. I have my own vehicle. I don't need that. But some women that are very vulnerable would stay. Oh my God, the house, the children, the that. So they stay for that, and they beat around the bush, and then they get miserable. So they have different types of women. Some will stay, some will run, some will say we need to be in separate homes, like we said the last time. Let's take space, so at house, and the figure is more interesting and stuff like that. But I know that independent divas pack up and go, and they take the Louis Vuitton suitcase and out of there.
But you see, for them, it's about materialism. But then, you see, again, that's a personal thing. Like, I can stay not because you're giving me money, per se. I can stay because really and truly I love you as a person. And I see that as, like a quote-unquote human thing. Because cheating is not going away. It's there to stay. It's how we deal with it. You understand? You can't really run away from it unless you totally decide, well, you know what, I'm done with people on a romantic level. You know what I mean? So, and I think it has a lot to do with ego. A lot of times people cheat and then they feel like, oh my God, like, why did you have to do that to me? I've been doing everything for you. Like, why would you even do? Sometimes it has nothing to do with you. It's the other person who chose to do that. You could do all the acrobatics. You could stand on your head. You could give them from the side, from the back, from the front. When somebody wants to cheat, very little will stop them. So at the end of the day, we have to not touch ourselves and think that it's us.
But
that
how
was
do
the
you
problem.
How do you not torture yourself? Because this person that you love and you've been intimate with and you have children with sometimes, right, has stepped outside of the relationship and done something that obviously is going to have a negative impact on the future of the relationship. So how could you not envisage it or visualize that what happened and what took place? And
I think the hardest thing for some people, they try to feel like, oh my God, they look at it. Well, that's what it is. They look at it like I'm sharing my meal with somebody else. And they try to, as you said a while ago, they try to visualize what was happening. And even some women look down at themselves. They maybe figure there's something I'm not doing. I don't think it's anything you're not doing. I think, as Nikki said, is the person who cheated is just them. Maybe at the time, the situation at the time. Maybe it's something we have to practice to say, maybe I'm in a relationship. But I think especially for men, it's hard to turn down. Sometimes you see a mermaid coming. They don't know if it's a jagage, but they say, but if I let that go, where I go get that again? That kind of thing. So they say, guys, I go knock that. That kind of thing. Because sometimes, nowadays, it's so easy to get a female. It's not like before. You have to do all that kind of thing. I mean, like, women just attack. They're like predators, They want something, they go for it, and you say, like, what? in places, and then women hit on men like seriously. So and for the female, sometimes the worst thing is the cheating starts sometimes. The person not interested in Andre, but they still take Andre's number and they still respond to the messages. So it starts like that. There's a build up. And time you hear Tim shares, boom, a relationship starts, something. So they said, I have my partner, but we can have a drink to make it sound casual. And then one drink turned to two drinks. Two drinks, then Andre invites you to his space. You like the sofa. Time you hear you sleeping on the sofa, my girl. So it have it little ways creeping up on you. So the best thing to do is not exchange numbers, don't be in quiet spaces and stuff like that. There's some things we can do, but some people figure that sometimes you figure, I've done it, like you're strong enough, you can you mentally you can deal with it, but sometimes the other person overpower you.
Let me just let our listeners know that we're talking about does cheating at a certain point in the relationship mean that the relationship has to break up? If you'd like to join the conversation, because we still have about maybe 12 minutes, the fixed line number is 572-9710, 572-9710, or the WhatsApp platform is 287-0971. WhatsApp platform 287-0971. If you'd like to join the conversation, please feel free to call us. Again, the fixed line number 572-9710, WhatsApp 287-0971. So while we're waiting for our first call, I'm going to go back to Nikki and this thing about don't think about this and that and the other. How can you help it? How can you help but not think about it? Because to me, that's a normal, natural response to something like that. You're visualizing what must have taken place there, and you're asking yourself questions. What do I lack?
Yes, but don't perpetuate it. Don't prolong it. Honestly, maybe I should rephrase and say you can think about it, but make sure not to prolong it, because you know what? It will not serve you. It just will not. You understand? It will not.
But every time you see this person, right? You see the guy, sometimes you see the person that he was with, or vice versa, she was with. It just kind of like
That's
raises.
why in the first place, it's just best not to cheat.
Well,
seriously. I mean, ideally speaking, it's because this thing, it can contribute to so much. So before we do it, I think we need to at least think, like, have a little self-control, especially if you claim to be in a committed relationship. I mean, then again, when you talk about a committed relationship, people think that it's all across the board. Some people will be committed to certain aspects of the relationship, but then when it comes to totally and wholly committed, no, there are always loopholes. You could never find a relationship where somebody is 100% committed. I'm sorry. You're a human being. Some people will be committed to taking care of the household, like financially speaking, but then when it comes to like being committed to their partner, then they cheat. Other people will never cheat.
Let me see if I understand it correctly. You said no person is totally committed to a relationship.
That's just my personal opinion. Honestly, like certain aspects they will fall short on, because you're dealing with a flawed human being, and then that is why some people feel so pressured, especially in a committed relationship, because the other person places such high expectations on them. Now that can drive them into the arms of another person. Funny.
I believe you.
No, seriously.
We do a survey now. Right now, most people that's married is somebody husband that they married to, or somebody wife that they married to. Some of the people marriage is like a hobby. There's girl married in 6, 7, 8, 9 times, but at the end of the day, that's to each his own. So most relationships is either you shop for that man online or you shop it by the market. Especially in the country. You see somebody, the person was with somebody, and maybe sometimes some people not looking at no face. That's what they want. They will go for it.
Okay, I thought I had a call coming through there. Again, the number is 572-9710, 572-9710. The WhatsApp platform is 287-0971. WhatsApp platform 287-0971. Whoever is calling, you can try calling back. All right. So, yes, we're talking about should we break up a relationship the moment we find out that the person is cheating. So let me just ask both of you now. Nikki, would you break up the relationship the moment you find out that cheating is taking place? Would you break up the relationship? No. Maybe before, yes, but not now. So what makes you think differently?
It's a human being, Andre. And my partner is not getting everything from me that he would want. I guarantee you that. and I have to be real. You understand? So that's what it is.
Wow. Interesting. Shamak?
I think. What's the question again?
The question is, would you break up with your partner if you find out, the moment you find out that he has been cheating?
To be honest,
in your case.
To be honest, I am honest. To be honest, in the past, my partners has never cheated on me. It's always me that's been cheating. So I can't even answer that question. When I reach that bridge, I'll cross it. I think it's me that need the counseling. So I cannot. I'm being honest. My girl, and when I cheat too, I wrong and I strong. Not me. I'm not backing down.
Meaning what? Like when you're confronted? When you're confronted?
If where you can be like, hey, and I have to speak up loud to make myself look like a man. You understand? You cannot look like a baby show. This is the honest truth. Because at that time you're already wrong, and you have to stand. You have to be your own lawyer and your JP, and you just there.
So you don't even apologize. I'm sorry.
Apologize. I don't like so most people when they find them just saying, "Oh, it's not what you think." Of course, it's what you think. Why are you going to lie? So that means I regret what I do. Where? But for me, I've never been cheated on. So I do not know if that happened. How would I take it? But then sometimes you feel a little weird. You feel embarrassed sometimes. But
so how would you feel if the person in your life decides to break up the relationship the minute he finds out that you were cheating? How would you feel about that?
To be honest, I don't know yet.
Would you plead with him? Stay.
I'm not in that begging vibe. Please don't go. Keep a rookie lap. I understand that. I don't know. I know that begging type and stuff like that. To me,
I'm not apologizing either.
I apologize for something. Maybe I apologize. It's something naturally. Because even at school, it was
but
a very hard thing to apologize.
But you would be standing your ground.
Yeah, you would stand your ground, but you'd apologize, maybe soften the situation, The career little color,
Now, does sorry mean sorry, I won't do it again? Does it mean that?
I can't answer that question.
Sorry that I got caught.
Andre?
I think it's sorry I got caught because I don't know if when I go on the plane I might see a hot flight attendant that brings some juice I like, but I don't know. You cannot be sorry. But yeah, I don't even know. That topic, I don't know. I can't even lie. You confuse me today.
A lot of people apologize for the hurt they may have caused, but not for the actual experience. Trust me.
I think when people cheating, I think I have to say you like a vampire, you just want that blood and then nothing cannot stop in your way because you have to find all tricks. Like going by my grandmother, I have library, I have lessons, I have I'm working late because of boys and but nothing can stop in your way. But sometimes people cheat to make not to correct baby, like they say I'm sorry and stuff like that. And then when things calm down, they go back and drink blood again. So
that's the sad.
That's what it is. Yeah.
If you're apologetic, you have to mean it. That is where I believe the problem comes in.
Yeah, my sister, that's a situation. No, you're not giving no counselor, nobody to eat your mind. They cannot solve because sometimes the counselor counseling you and they themselves sleeping with your husband. That's self. You have to solve that by yourself.
That's another thing.
I think we have a call. Let's see what happens. Good morning.
Andre, I made the show.
Yes, sir.
But, I'll give you back 100%. Serious.
You give Shamak 100%?
Yes, sir. I'll give it. Because I have that same kind of attitude, same feeling making. Yeah. Serious. And Shamak, what you say is absolutely true. Don't go to Papi show and then you go be sorry and have foolishness. No.
Thank you.
So since you married these days, you finish with that?
Well, for now.
Oh my God.
After you have to be off the market, eh?
For now.
He's a brave man. When you should go home, they shouldn't give you dinner.
Remember, once a seaman, always a seaman.
Ay.
Because all I go to sea when you want, even though you are 90 years, you can still go to sea. But I think go to sea. But I can
Oh my goodness, I don't know what to say.
I have to be discreet.
So you hold on, partner. So you say you're cheating discreetly?
Not really yet, Paul. I'm not going there. For now,
not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. For now.
I thought you're really brave. Your wife there for something. She hearing you on the radio.
But she don't hear already. She know the kind of man I be already. Why did you marry me? It's like a tournament.
I know. Well, she had to read the fine print to know what she getting into.
So, see, no.
Okay, Arthur Charles. All right, Arthur Charles. We get it. We get it, partner. Have a blessed one, all right? Have a blessed one. Okay, with the few minutes that we have left, let me just ask both of you. Because Nikki used a very interesting word a while ago, and she said about having self-control. Okay? So don't you think that the reason people cheat is because we just lack self-control? That's the problem.
I believe that, You can always feel attracted to somebody, but do you really have to cross the line with them?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? That is where the horrors begin. And you have to know that when you do that, it's like a breach of contract, basically, because you actually stepping outside the box and bringing somebody into, like your space. And that can be very problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Unless your partner is extremely understanding and sees, things beyond, then expect to fall into a lot of unnecessary problems. Sometimes
Yes.
you'll work so hard together for what you'll have, and then you go and you infringe on that. And is it really worth it? You can feel attracted to somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. But do you have to cross the line? Think about it like that.
I have an
Good
idea.
question. Good question. Mm.
What if somebody approach you and you're attracted to the person, and you go home and you say, babes, today I met this guy, and then... But some people like dragons, they'll attack you. Come and say the truth, tell them you meet that person. You see, they was talking to you and the person make a pass at you, and they say, what, Papa, you come and tell me there. So sometimes, all of these things... there are some people that will do that. Some girls say, baby, this man hit on me in the supermarket. Try to make conversation out of it to see how it would feel and stuff like that. But sometimes when you keep the secret to yourself, most times you don't give the person the attention that they want, but you thinking about it along the day, what the person say, it's still coming up in your head like, what? I wonder if I should do that. Just...
It,
So, Nikki touched on a very, very important point, Shamak. She was saying, when you think of the contribution of this other person to the relationship, the sacrifices they make, I remember one time a guy was giving me a story. He was saying to me that he had gone out, he was having a good time and so on, and he said he came home after messing around, and he said he saw his wife there, taking care of the house and doing this and that and the other, and he said that just killed him, because he said, wow, imagine, look at me, I'm outside there, and she's there taking care of the home and the children, and he felt really bad. So the thing is, I think that point in time, even if the temptation is there to do the wrong thing, we really, 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 for the sake of the stability of the home, because once you step out of that, there are going to be consequences.
I'm telling you,
there are going to be consequences to that.
You can do it, but know the consequences are sure to follow.
That's right. That's
understand?
Right. And if you do it, you must say to yourself, well, I'm ready for the consequences. Right?
A lot of them aren't.
Well, that's if you get caught.
If you get caught.
No, but you have your conscience to deal with, and I think a lot of the times that is why people...
Nikki.
Listen, let me tell you that. Hear what happens. When you see people cheat, a lot of times, okay, people like their partner finds out, and then they confront them. Okay, even if they don't admit it, intuition tells the partner that they're doing it because of the way they behave. Their behavior changes because your conscience is not numbed out.
That's a good point.
Honestly, you have to be very careful of
Especially,
that.
I find women feel, I don't know what it is about you all.
No,
you all
we
have
do.
some sixth sense or something.
We do.
You'll just sense something is wrong.
And even
Now,
if a
there's
man
different
does
types
not-
of cheating, and there are sometimes you cheat and it's a one-night stand. So that might be impossible for the person to know. But if you cheat and you have a relationship,
You'll
your
be amazed.
behavior would change towards the person in the house because your
Sometimes-
attention span swing a different direction.
The one night stands, they pick it up too. I'm telling you.
yeah.
They pick it up.
What
It's
satellite
a-
these girls using?
No, listen,
Yeah,
I don't know.
sixth
It's
sense.
a built-in thing,
A sixth sense.
They tell you, be careful. Women can be better PIs than the qualified PIs.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes they say some things and you say, but how do you know? How do you know that?
Yeah,
How do you know that?
And before we close, I was listening to the interview with Jay-Z when he cheated on Beyonce and he came out. And one of the things he said that stood out very prominently in my mind was when he said that, when you break the news to, like your partner that you're cheating on, you see the hurt on the person's face, I mean, it can really contribute to hurt. So we have to be very careful of these things. You can be attracted to somebody, nothing wrong with that. But what do you do with that attraction is key. That's how. That's my opinion on the matter.
Yes, and
you know?
I think as a society we really need to start learning what you said there earlier about having self-control. I think that needs to be taught, maybe from the home, because I don't think it's something you can just pick up. You can just get that way overnight, kind of thing. It's a process, and it may be even a process that has to start when you're young.
Yeah.
Because for some of us, especially when we've developed certain habits and so on over the years, it's hard to change.
But I
It's
think
hard.
in every situation we know wrong or right. But sometimes it happens when the situation arise. Okay, there was a certain situation, nothing to do with relationship. I had a client, and then he did the decor, and it was like, oh, can we keep it? But normally when you do an event, it's a rental thing. I was like, no, blah, blah, blah. So we had a little back and forth. But as I was driving away, I was like, you know what? I shouldn't argue with the client and stuff like that. So I had my assistant to send an apology. I tell her, well, sorry about the argument and stuff like that. I do apologize. And, on the behalf of myself, please forgive me. Because this is a business. You want to keep your business. As a human being, I thought it was right to apologize. But then at that point, at the situation was when it was happening, I was just thinking like, hey, I was arguing with the client at that time. You know better. But sometimes when a situation happens, sometimes you give somebody a slap. You know better, you're not supposed to hit a female, but sometimes it just triggers. Sometimes it happens, and then it's afterwards when you say, like, what did I do? Why did I do that? I know there are people that cheat and they feel guilty afterwards. They feel very miserable, and it's like, baby, what's wrong? No, I'm okay. Baby, what's wrong? And they put you on the hard day at work, but they lie because it's first time they do it, and then like, what? And they have mixed emotions because they're thinking about how they enjoy it, and then they're thinking about the person they hurt, and then you balance it and say, what? Then you realize that girl, now she calmed down, I going back again. So it can.
So
we have to learn from the experiences.
Yeah,
that's
we have to, and we have to wrap it up. Let me just ask you just before we leave. Do we agree that the key to dealing with this issue of cheating in relationships, right? In fact, cheating on the whole, because cheating has a number of different meanings. But cheating, there's nothing good about cheating. Do we agree?
Nothing, say what you said, Andre?
There's nothing good about cheating.
In terms of what? That kind of excitement you get in. My friend, don't lie on yourself. There's nothing good about cheating.
No, what I'm saying is that in terms of the meaning,
I think what that's not good about the cheating is the person you're hurting in the process.
What I meant was the different meanings, because there are different meanings to cheating.
Okay.
But whatever that meaning is for whatever context, it's just not good. It's just not good. I checked it out already. There's nothing good about cheating.
I agree to that,
right?
honestly.
So, do we agree that the key to controlling this thing, to stopping it or ensuring we don't go there, is to have self-control? Do we agree on that one?
I agree.
Yeah?
I agree.
So, Mark, what do you think?
It has to be built.
I don't really agree, because sometimes everybody have a master key. I don't know.
All right. Okay. I think we had another
I think it's
great
when you get to
discussion.
the bridge is how you approach it, and it helps you to be a better person when you can say, sorry, I have a wife, sorry, I have a husband, sorry, I have a boyfriend.
Yep.
It's something that we have to practice.
Well, we can practice self-control too, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
All right. Okay, so this has been another Love Zone with yours truly, alongside Nikki Edmonds and Mark Leon. Thank you for being with us, and God willing, we'll be back next week, Friday. All right, so have yourself a great day, enjoy the rest of it, and a nice weekend.
Oh, yes.
All right,
Thank
until
you.
next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Anisha.
Stand by for Hard Drive coming up next. Those of you on Facebook, just stay right there, all right? Stay right there. This is Rev-Up St. Lucia 97.1 FM. Stand by for Hard Drive after this.
Rev-Up St. Lucia is looking for a savvy, highly motivated sales professional to join our team selling our traditional, digital, and event marketing solutions to businesses. Our ideal candidate will be goal-oriented, a relentless hunter who drives to win new businesses and possesses a track record of exceeding monthly goals. If you're passionate about selling, have a deep knowledge of marketing principles and products, and possesses excellent presentation and closing skills, then we'd love to talk to you. Send your resume to info@rev-upslu.com. That's info at rev-upslu.com. Or give us a call at 572-0383. That's 572-0383.
Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners and viewers in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you on Facebook. Hey, thanks for sticking around, okay? I'm glad you didn't go away. All right, this is Hard Drive, and next to me now is none other than my brother from the same mother, 24.
Good morning to you, Andre. Good morning to the listeners. How y'all doing? Hope it's been all good, and I hope you tuned into that show. Let me tell you, that was hot.
Yeah,
that
really
was a
hot,
one.
really hot.
It was so hot. Was it just one call?
Yeah, just one call.
Arthur.
Brother Arthur, yeah.
Arthur is a brave soul, let me tell you.
I tell you.
Andre, this was so hot, and it's one of those topics that people just stay away from. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
I suppose we ain't going there. Right?
Of course we're going there.
We are.
We have to go there for at least 60 seconds.
Ouch.
At least because I'm sure people only get your take on that.
My take.
Yeah, Tony, just before we do that, we have this vacancy at our studios for a salesperson, and this ad has been going out for, this announcement has been going out for a little while. We're waiting for more people to apply, and we're going to have to get somebody who can face the music, because it's tough. It's tough selling. It's really, really tough.
Yeah, you got to really love it. Like everything else, Andre, you got to love it. If you love it, you find, hey, that's easy. That's a piece of cake. Like you come here in the morning, right? Early morning.
Exactly.
And you just so enjoy doing it that's like, small matter, you know? But for some people, like, Andre, how do you do it, man? 5 days a week. Get up that early and to be here for all these hours. So they're probably saying, my goodness, man. So if you love it,
yes, piece of cake.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm loving what you do.
Yes.
I've always said I don't see it as work. I just see it as fun.
Fun. You come there, you sit down, you play. You play music. You enjoy doing that.
Yes.
You know, you read. You enjoy reading, and then you talk.
Yes.
You enjoy talking.
Yes, sure. A lot.
When did that, Andre? When did that? I know we're gonna go back to the same. Well, I don't know. When did that happen? Because I keep thinking, Andre, you always was a talker?
Actually, no.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, no.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was very shy.
Okay.
Yeah,
still to a certain extent, right? Shy.
Deflated, yeah, to some degree.
Yeah.
Deflated and so on, and that came up as a result of what happened in the house and so on.
That's right, growing up.
Yeah,
yes.
because lack had a way of really, really making you feel
like
you're dumb.
That's right. Like you can't do nothing. You ain't worth nothing.
So I had to really work on that. I had to really work on that to develop my self-esteem and so on. And I've come a long way.
Yes,
I've come a long way.
You have indeed.
Yes.
So for the salesperson that we're talking about, yes, we definitely are looking for you, as a matter of fact. So you can check us out, man.
Yes. Let me just give our office numbers.
Right.
572-0383, 572-0383, or 572-0215, 572-0215. Let me give those numbers again. 572-0383, 572-0383, or 572-0215. That's 572-0215. So if you're interested, please give us a call, and we have a lovely receptionist who's going to answer your call. And
I was about to say that. Yes, Mauricia is her name. Mauricia will answer that call, and then she will give you the information that you're looking for. Yeah. Tell her that you're interested in the job, and she'll tell you where to send your application, etc., etc.
That's right. So good luck to you. Okay, Tony, anything you want to mention before we get into some other matters?
Yeah, I might as well, because a lot of times I do not promote it too much. And when I get there, it's like, when you get on the air, Andre, everything just comes down on you like that, The giveaways, it's cash giveaway for those of you who perhaps are not even aware, because you probably just listen to Andre's program, and after that you figure, yeah, that's it, I'm done. Lot cote.
Yes.
We're giving away cash, all right? Lucky 3, we call it. and this happens sometimes twice for the morning, between after 11, sometime after 11, or sometimes minutes to 12. You just have to keep listening to win the cash. And then, of course, it happens between, say, 1 and 2 o'clock again. So, hey, stay tuned to win some cash on Lucky 3 right here on Rev-Up St. Lucia.
Yeah, and I want to commend you, Tony. I was listening to you yesterday. You have everything St. Cecilia's.
Yes.
You're giving a lot of information about some artists and so on. Quite frankly, I don't even remember some of these artists.
Exactly.
And you're giving a lot of information. That was good.
Yeah.
That was real cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And some of them are one-hit wonders kind of thing. Andre, they just did one song, and you don't know what it is, why they just did one song, and they never went and do other music. It could be, again, maybe finance, because to finance these things, Andre, it costs a lot.
Yes.
And the musicians will tell you that too, that they have to you write the song, then you maybe not a good arranger. You got to get somebody to arrange the song, and you have to pay them.
That's right. Yeah.
Then to get the CD or press the CD, because back in those days, and you realize it really ain't worth it. And worst of all, you sometimes get inferior quality. And Andre, you
spoke about that. You spoke about that yesterday as well.
Very
good.
The
quality of the music.
That's right. You get inferior quality of the recording. And you could attest to that. Sometimes when you come to the radio stations and you give them your CD, they ain't playing it. I'll tell you why. Right, because when you listen to it, it is sometimes not up to standard. And you think if you play this, listeners and viewers, I'm telling you that straight up, man. You think if you play that, a listener might say, what crap mate playing there?
That's
and
right.
just turn you off.
I'm glad you brought that up, Tony, because that's a very crucial point that you're making there. It is a place many of us in the broadcasting industry have found ourselves, where you have somebody who genuinely wants to have their music played on the air. This person, as you said there, went out of their way, wrote a song, recorded a song. It cost them how much to do it and so on. And that person thinks that I have some real good material. Okay, and I did the best I can with the recording and so on. And they bring this song or songs or album or whatever to you. And now you have to make a decision. Do I play that song? Because here's the problem. If I play, because I know from my experience that, as you said, the quality is not so great and so on. But the person thinks that, hey, I produced something really good, because obviously the person must feel that I did something good. And you're caught between a rock and a hard place, because you don't want to kind of disappoint the person. But the reality is that if you end up playing that song, there's a possibility that your listeners will tune out. And you have to make a decision at that point in time. Now, I know there's some people who really don't care. Some announcers, they just play it. But there are risks. There are risks.
That's true.
Yeah. And here's another problem, Tony. And I'm sure you've probably experienced that, because I'm sure, right? It happens to most people. When somebody gives you a track to play and they believe it's a real good song and you don't play it, they get angry with you.
Oh, yeah. That's the other part that we forgot to mention. I'm glad you brought it up. They get really, really mad, because they're thinking if you play the song, because maybe your program is popular, people listen to you, and they expect you to play it so that they themselves get some popularity and so on, and they can go maybe perform the song because it becomes popular, and you don't play it, boy, these people get so upset at you, man, that sometimes they don't even give you any more music, or they just mad with you. They see you and they open on you.
That's right. Or Tony, they don't talk to you, period.
Even that too, yes.
They
Either
talk to you.
They open up on you, or they just don't talk to you.
How do you deal with that? I in all my years in the business, I don't know how to deal with that, because you know within yourself that the music is not what it's supposed to be. You don't want to tell the person that for them to feel bad, because sometimes, Tony, by you saying that to them, it just deflates them.
Yeah.
That does happen. You don't want to deflate this person.
Yes.
And at the same time now, you have a responsibility to your listeners, and from experience, and that's the important thing here. From experience, if you take a risk and play that particular song, because you don't want listeners to move away to another station. You don't want that.
And you know what happens, Andre? Some listeners let you know. Andre, you playing that? That you ain't hearing that, man, Andre, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing. They let you know what you playing that for. Then you tell them, boy, the guy went and he recorded his music, he spent his money, so I say, but hello, it ain't good, fellas, but that ain't good. What are you playing that for?
Boy,
you cannot afford to do that on the radio station. You're bringing down the ratings and all of that. You know what I mean? So, guys, I hope you're listening. It happens. So these days, Andre, it's kind of different. You get much better quality recordings, so you can play them. But again, maybe just the material itself, what the song is saying, it's not You like to say it ain't knocking.
Yes, it's true. It's
It ain't
true.
knocking, you know what I mean?
Yes. But Tony, there's some recordings that are done here in St. Lucia, and they're exceptional.
That's right.
They're exceptional. But I imagine these probably cost a lot more to produce.
That's the thing, Andre.
Yeah.
It costs, you know what I mean? Because the people who are producing these songs, they buy the equipment. You know, like people come in the studio and they're in awe. You know what I mean? Oh gosh, boy, you're looking good. You know what I mean? Andre, it costs a lot of money. These things, the equipment that you're looking at and so on, I'm hoping the cameras are probably picking up some of them. It costs a lot of money.
Exactly.
Yeah. Almost everyone who has come into the studio have said, what a job that we have done with the studio, you know. It costs a lot of money, you know, to get these things. So when you get the equipment, you know, you tell a person, I'm going to charge you X amount for my studio recordings. You know, hopefully you give them good quality. And the thing is, they're saying, well, I could only pay you that. Hold that up.
That's another problem. But that's for another show, Tony. That's for another show.
Definitely.
So before we move on, just, you know, to get your take on the subject this morning, should a relationship end the minute you find out that the person has been, well, your partner, your significant other has been cheating?
I hope Nikki and Shamak, Nikki rides with Shamak, I hope they're listening. Nikki, to me, you were very on. Nikki said she has had the experience. And that experience is a great teacher. Nikki, well said. I'm with Nikki all the way. It doesn't necessarily have to end, Andre. If you find out, okay, the person has been cheating or the person cheated, a one-time thing, let me give Blau a big shout out, man. You know, let me just say he has said some things to me in the past, and that's one of those that he said. Sometimes, Andre, with all our arrogance, we think, man, you know, me? Somebody cheat. Like Shamak said, oh gosh, I jump in. I have a way of doing that. Shamak said nobody ever cheated on him. He cheated on people. Shamak, again, I hope you and Nikki listening. You don't know.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, you don't know. All right? Maybe the person found out you cheated and then they confront you, but you have no idea if your partner cheated. You know what I mean? You don't know. Maybe because they never said so to you or you never suspected.
You're hoping.
You're hoping.
That's not the case.
Exactly, but you just don't know. All right? And Nikki said it. Blau told me so a lot of years ago. It depends. If you can work it out, he'll work it out. Andrea, I was like, at the time, you mad. Instantly. You ain't even have to come and tell me you cheated. Once I hear you cheated, and I kind of figured it come from good grounds and so on, I'm out of there. Honestly, I was like that.
And the worst ground is the one where the person saying to you, yes, I did it. So.
And I think, was it Nikki who also said that once you see if they admit it or something like that, that means the person ready to say, okay, I gone. They admitted to you that I cheated. That means they're ready to just say, hey, we're done. You know? So if you say we're done, okay, well, we're done because I cheated. Let's just say they admitted it and you have proof now from the horse's mouth. Andre, we talk about it. Is it something that you feel like it's a one-time thing or you feel you need to do? Why you cheated? Why you think you need to do it? Is it something that I'm not doing? In other words, Andre, in short, let's talk. And if the person say I cheated because I just feel like the relationship ain't going nowhere, and you know missionary position all the time, you know what I mean? And they just figure. And if you say, well, all right, we could try to spice it up, and the person say, nah, I don't know. You know that means okay. Then again, we talk about it, and if there is still room in my heart for forgiveness and all of that, Andre, I could see myself staying in the relationship. I'll be honest with you.
But the forgiveness means you have to take the blow. You know, when I say take the blow, meaning that once you forgive that person, that must not be an issue anymore.
Exactly.
Meaning you constantly bring it up. And I spoke about that earlier this morning.
I'm glad you're saying this.
Yeah, where women especially, they tend to be able to handle the cheating a little better, and I put better in quotes, where they don't really want to break up because they think of other things, they think of their stability, they have a home, they have the children, right? So they think about, it has to be a real independent lady to say, okay, I'm moving out kind of thing. And some do. But I find generally women tend to handle cheating a lot better than men. But there's a problem. There's a problem. Those same ladies who stay, they bring it up, Tony.
Right.
I've heard guys talk about that many times. The guys think that it's over. Okay, we have a discussion, we spoke about it and so on, but they keep bringing it up. And there's a trust issue that lingers. So anytime you do anything that looks suspicious, they're on your case.
Trust. That's right. So I was going to say there are a few variations in there, you know, where, okay, you stay with the person. Oh, they're going to bring it up. and they're not gonna trust you as much as they did, because there's always that in the back of their minds that c'est possible. It's just possible that it could happen again.
Exactly.
So they become suspicious. Sometimes maybe you just leave it, right? Because they become suspicious of every little thing. What were you last night? I was with the fellas, boy. They done check already. You wasn't with the fellas, eh?
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Even if you're telling the truth.
Right. You were not with okay, that's a lie. That part is a lie. I was with the fellas, and they check already you were not with the fellas. But you didn't want to say you were not with the fellas. You lime another place that may have had some females. You ain't do nothing, Innocent little lime. But boy, from the time you lie about you were with the fellas and you were not with the fellas, problem.
Exactly.
So that's the situation. That one of the variables that I said to you, it just simply varies. There are a lot of little things in there. That's just one of them. The lack of trust is like huge. No more. I trust you 100%. That's out the door because you cheated already. I'm always suspicious of something.
And as you said a while ago, it may even be better. Just finish with that.
Yes. Perhaps sometimes.
Because you heard guys say it all the time. They do not forget. The ladies stay with you, but anything that comes up, there's a lack of trust and so on. And this thing is constantly coming up. But so you said
one thing. Another variable there is maybe the sex that you guys have might be a little less, because feelings probably start to die.
A
lot of things. Like I said, a few variables in there.
So let me ask you, Tony, because apparently, you've really, really grown to hear you say that.
I have.
And let me ask you. How would you be able to deal with the fact that this lady was with somebody else, because she's admitted it to you, and you say, hey, listen, let's try and work it out. She says, I'm sorry, I did it because of whatever. Maybe I felt you're not paying enough attention, whatever reasons that they give for the cheating. So, Tony, generally we tend to form these mental images in our minds as to what it must have been like. Right? We tend to do that. I think that's
which is true.
Yeah, that's the worst part of the thing, because you're trying to imagine because you know what the person is like with you.
Yes.
Now it may not necessarily mean that she's that way with somebody else. Yeah. But sometimes she's even better.
Maybe I was going to say that you play that song, so even better.
Even better. Yeah, even better. Yeah. Sometimes it's even better for true.
Yeah.
And here she is now, Tony. She's with you, and you want to work it out. Let me ask you a question. How do you go back to this person and be with them again, make love to them? How do you manage that? Because Tony, I answer for myself as to what I'll do yet. But how do you manage that? How do you let that pass?
The word that you said a while ago, you try to be even better.
Yeah, but Tony,
because you know what they say about Andre. Again, yesterday I think yesterday we didn't have a show. The day before we mentioned that. It's like when you have an argument with your significant other, the two of you go apart a little bit. Maybe no sex and take place for a few days. The make-up sex is always great, right? So when you see you making up, because she now, let's just say, okay, the lady who did the cheating, because we're talking about ourselves, she now has to kind of make up because she messed up. So it's time to make up. All right. So she's probably, if she cooks well, she's probably cooking even better. She probably treating you even better. And she probably gained it to you in bed even better. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because she figures she has to make up for it.
Yeah, but Tony, don't forget, we fellas, we have a huge ego. So what would generally happen
on the male side?
Yeah.
Okay.
What would generally happen is, and if you disagree, tell me you disagree. You decide now, okay, it's been a week, 2 weeks, probably a month.
Oh yeah,
because you're still trying to deal with the cheating issue, right? And then you finally now, all right, let's go. The male ego being what it is, don't you think as soon as this thing is over, you're going to be asking yourself now,
was my performance up,
up to par?
Was
I up to par? Was I up to par? And maybe I still lapo or something like that. And then wouldn't those thoughts again start coming in your mind? What it was like?
Right. To answer the question, I don't know. I have no idea. Because again, until you experience it, until it happens to you, you can't really say. That's what I think. You can't really say, man. What is it going to be like?
And Tony, how do you move forward now? How do you trust her if you see her talking to a guy, especially if she's smiling, or she might blush or something like that, and you see her.
You watching? You watching all of that?
Yeah, how you mean?
I cannot burden myself.
You could see the
to
way
think that kind of way.
Yeah, so it may not be anything, but just the fact that the cheating took place. To me, you'd always be suspicious. You can, if a guy comes to ask her to dance and she says to you, "It's all right, can I dance with him?" Even that.
Yeah.
Why would you want to dance with him? That kind of thing. Tony, you see me?
Yeah, it's better
to make a long story short. For me personally, that's over.
Yeah,
that's over. But I wouldn't be able to deal with that.
What if you hear and you have no proof?
Well, okay,
that's right.
That's a different thing. Yeah, if I don't have any proof or anything, and she's able to explain and tell me, well, what you think. Let me give you a little example. One time I remember I was at a party and I was dating this lady, and she said she'll join me a little later. She was outside my vehicle. So I was in the place and I'm standing close to where the guys were, they had the sound system. So I'm standing next to them and I'm just doing my little jig, doing a little thing by myself. Once, so I saw her walk in. She walked in, she made a round and she kind of caught my eyes, right? And then she just left. Mm-hmm. She just left. I said, but what happened? But I wasn't worried because I know, okay, maybe she might come back a little later. Maybe she wasn't quite ready yet and so on. So after about 2 hours, I'm not seeing this person. I said, wait. Let me go and see what's going on. So I said to her, what happened to you? Why aren't you inside? I mean, you came there with me and all of a sudden now you...
Did you exaggerate the 2 hours?
About 2 hours, I'm telling you, the girl, she just...
So hold on, you ain't going to look for her?
Well, no, I wasn't, because I know she's the kind of person, she does that all the time. She doesn't, maybe she doesn't like the vibe as yet until she's ready and so on. And plus, I was playing. Remember, I was playing that night.
All right.
So when I was done, I went to check up on her and then I said, what's going on? She said to me, but I see you there with a lady dancing behind a lady. I said, me? Dancing behind a lady? I wasn't dancing behind any lady. I was just standing there doing my little jig by myself. Tony, the girl refused to believe that I wasn't dancing with next or behind this person.
So is that true? You were doing your thing by yourself?
By myself, but it looked that way. That's the point I'm trying to make. She saw it as though I was close to this person. I was actually dancing with that person. So she said to me, I actually see you locked down, man. I locked down.
And nothing so. According to Antigua, nothing tall goes so.
So imagine I decide to make up with this lady. We talk back to our question.
Yeah.
If I said I'm not going to break up the relationship, I'm going to stay there, and I happen to go inside a place and I see what looks like her dancing behind a guy. Do you know what I'm trying to tell you? That's just going to create problems right away.
Tit for tat.
So you see me there, my temperament. I can't deal with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can't deal with that.
I would not. I think I said it a while ago. I hinted it, and you didn't really get it. I'm not putting that kind of burden on myself, man, Andre. To think you there dancing with a person you're enjoying the dance more than you do it with. No. You dance with the person and enjoy yourself. Andre, I'm like that for sure. Enjoy yourself. Because in my mind, he ain't dancing better than me.
Yeah, right. Remember cheating took place, huh?
You're still on the cheating part.
Oh yes. So I gave you the scenario. I said to you, what?
Got it. So okay, I ain't putting that on my mind. She cheated. One thing, if you do it again, kiss, close.
So two strikes.
Two
strikes, you're out.
2 strikes and you're out. Yeah.
2 strikes.
That means something's wrong. Yeah. You do it again, something's wrong, man. You admitted it that hey, but I ain't gonna do that again, man. It's something you probably just enjoy. Like Nikki actually said that sometimes you ain't care. You just Nikki mentioned something, Let me give you the name for it. I'm sure you're familiar with that. Nymphomaniac? Mm-hmm. Exactly. You just want to have sex all the time. And when you're doing it, you ain't want to stop. For example, you can just go and go and go and go. You know what I mean? There are people who are like that. There are people who will cheat, and that's just what they are about. I just like other people. I like other people. I want to see other people. Then, in that way, please be by yourself.
Exactly.
Be by yourself.
Exactly.
Be by yourself.
Yeah, they want to have relationships and then they want to do the
No, you can't do that.
But as I said, Tony, with my temperament, I was that. That's over. At that point there, I'll forgive anything else. I'll try to understand. But that one, that's too much stress.
You'll try to understand with dancing with another guy, maybe.
Yeah,
close.
things like that. Yeah, I'll let that pass.
But not cheating.
Yeah, if you disrespect me, although disrespect is a serious issue in a relationship, but if you disrespect me, I'll talk to you about it, and hopefully that you will realize that you're wrong. Right? Some people would curse you, things like that. Right? There's certain things you can deal with and work on.
Yeah.
But the cheating partner, our.
And if as an individual, a grown man, experienced man, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. Make no excuses, make no bones about it.
And especially,
that's how you are, that's how you are. You cannot handle it.
Anthony, especially if I am not cheating. Yeah, especially if I'm not cheating, I'm not involved in that. I'm faithful to you, right? And then you decide now to step out of that, and sir.
That other part is for another show.
Yes.
If the person's cheating, would you cheat too and stay in the relationship? You know, that kind of way. So y'all just have some sort of an open relationship.
Yes.
We enjoy ourselves when we're together, and when we're apart, we enjoy ourselves the same way.
Yes, this open relationship thing. I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tony, the United Workers' Party, they're going to be announcing, well, they already announced a protest march for the 30th of November, right? And remember they had one recently, I think down south, I think that was the last one. Well, this one is going to be held in Castries. I'm not too sure exactly what the route is going to be. I guess they will announce that. But Tony, the opposition leader gave the reasons why they're having the march. So let me just go for it. He says there, on November 30th, I'm inviting all St. Lucians to anybody who believes in democracy, anybody who believes in fairness, anybody who does not believe in victimization, anybody who does not believe in persecution, and anybody who cannot stand anymore living in a country of fear and crime and the state of the roads we have. I'm asking all of you, November 30th, to come out at 4:30 p.m. 4:30 in the afternoon. Oh, so it's to VG Field. VG Field.
It's the only thing it says at the VG Field. So I guess maybe that's where they'll hold everything. You know, you come there at the meeting and everything. It doesn't say from where to where.
Yeah,
just
I think,
the VG Field.
Sorry, I think they'll meet at the VG Field and then march through the streets of Castries.
Because it's a march. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the problem is, are these valid reasons? Do we have these issues in St. Lucia, as the opposition leader is stating, and do they are they at a sufficiently high level that we feel we ought to be very, very concerned to the point where we have to march? And he said them. He says, if you believe in democracy, so that would imply that under this current administration there's a lack of democracy, because that's mentioned. If you believe in democracy, if you believe in fairness, so he's saying, well, there's a lack of fairness under this administration. Anybody who doesn't believe in victimization, so he's saying that there is some victimization taking place in the country. Anybody who does not believe in persecution, that means some people are being persecuted. Anybody who cannot stand anymore living in a country of fear, right? So the opposition believe that we are living in a country of fear. Now he mentioned crime, yes, we know we have an issue with crime and the state of the roads, which I can tell you, we really have some issues with our roads. In fact, let me take the opportunity to say, I drove down the West Coast last Saturday, and I hope I don't have to drive there too often, because the road is not nice there at all. It's just
you going back this weekend?
Yes, but I'll be driving on the East Coast. Yeah.
Okay.
Now that you mention that. Oh, tonight. I'll be at Dax tonight, by the way.
Oh, you've been invited again.
Yes. Dax called me yesterday, so I'll be there tonight.
Good, man.
Yeah, from about 7 o'clock.
Okay.
I love playing there, to be honest with you.
Yes, you've said that. Yes, you've said that.
And tomorrow is going to be at Anchor Bees in the PI Junction there.
Right.
Yeah. I suspect that's going to have a massive crowd for that one, because they're actually celebrating their first anniversary.
Right. What's Anchor Bees though?
It's a bar. Open bar. Area, and so on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that means the thing is free. Just pay for your drinks.
That's right. And they're going to have all kind of drinks. All kind of drinks. All kind of eats going to be there.
No, you know about drinks. You don't know a thing about drinks.
I see them. I see them being mixed and so on.
Us who know about it, we say, well, kind of dog liquor, dog rum.
Yes. So
but
Tony,
yes, getting back to the point.
Yes. So does the opposition have real grounds there for a march? Because from what I can tell, I don't see the level of the victim. I'm not saying maybe people are not victimized. There's no democracy. Well, the issue of democracy, people being persecuted, fear in the country, that sort of thing. Obviously, the opposition believes that there are good grounds for staging this march based on what they are saying. But I'm just saying, from where I stand, I don't think that we're living in such that kind of state where it would necessitate having a march against those things at this point in time. That's my take on it. Yeah.
I like that. I like your take. Honestly, I really, really do, because I'm thinking exactly the same thing. Let's break them down one by one. Let's go to the last two I think you mentioned, right? Fear. All right. What are we afraid of? Maybe the crime, if you like, because they did mention crime.
Yes.
All right. So perhaps the crime. So you're afraid what could happen if you go out, that kind of thing. Okay. If you are somewhere you perhaps, as they say, hot spots. You know what I mean? So it seems as though that is a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Now that's everywhere.
And there's a caveat there, Tony, because remember I told you I was down in Choiseul.
Yes.
Right, in Victoria.
Yes.
And I was walking about 2 in the morning,
right,
in the dark, and I walked about 5 minutes or so walking, and I didn't feel any fear. I wasn't worried about anything, and I know if I was in the city,
yes,
I wouldn't do that.
So that's what we're talking about.
So exactly.
Yes.
So is there a general fear in the country? Because I'm sure many parts of St. Lucia that doesn't occupy the average person's mind at all, to be fearful. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Most definitely. Although crime happens everywhere or anywhere. It can happen anywhere. Even what you were just saying there, that you walk for 5 minutes somewhere, that part in Choiseul, Andre, something could have happened there. So what I do, I guard myself, so to speak. Meaning my mind is like, okay, if so-and-so were to happen, how would I handle it? You know, because you never know, somebody could have come out of the bush. You know what I mean?
The possibility.
So it happens anywhere.
Yeah.
Crime can happen anywhere.
Yes.
Okay?
But you must admit, Tony, that the chances of somebody walking out of the bush are greater in some areas than others.
That is
right?
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure, for sure. So in some areas, be cautious. All right? Be careful, be cautious, and do not, if you can avoid it, just avoid it. But in terms of there's a fear, I don't think so. Like I said, I'm with you there. There's a fear, but it's opposition, They have to say, they have to bring things up that they think would get the people's attention. So that's for me one of them. The roads, Andre, we know the roads are bad, like you just mentioned a while ago, right?
Well, the roads destroyed one of my tires. That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's how we know. Again, the roads are bad, but that is being looked after. There are plans to put up to today. I was looking through my news here that I'm going to read at 12 o'clock, and they're saying that the road rehabilitation work. I think it has started, or it will be starting very, very soon. And there's a time frame, of course, barring the weather and all of that, time frame to finish it. So that is sort of being mentioned. So what you're going to say? The roads are bad when you go on the podium and say the roads are bad. Everybody knows the roads bad. You know what I mean? Yes, we all do, and it's what they're doing about it. Now remember when the opposition was in power. Yeah, they started doing some road rehabilitation works and so on, and the now governing party said people don't eat roads. Yeah. I'm just putting that little piece in there, But again, those are, to make my point, opposition gimmicks, so to speak. You're in opposition, so you have to kind of say that, So that's one of the things that they say, one of the reasons why that they're going to have that protest march. Just one of them, right? The roads. We know the roads are bad. Okay, what are the others? There are a few others there. Please, let's take them in isolation.
Yeah, but that's all right, Tony. That's
you
all
okay
right.
with that?
Yeah, we don't need to go over that again. But I'm just saying, all these reasons given there by the opposition, I'm just saying, yes, maybe they do exist. They do exist. But is it at the degree that it would require a protest march?
Right.
That is the thing.
Exactly.
And the other thing, Tony, which I mentioned the last time we were talking about this, was to do with the fact that usually these marches are accompanied by colors.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm saying, if you're going to be having a protest march, to me, don't wear the colors of the party. right? Left people come there and look neutral. When you have a sea of yellow, which most likely will happen this weekend, you think the ruling party will take it seriously? They will say these are just supporters of the opposition who are looking for attention.
But you kind of have to be careful. If there's a lot of people, it's going to a sea of yellow.
That's what I'm saying. It's yellow. It's people who support the party.
Then you have to be careful. You know, as the governing party, you have to look at it and say, ouch. Maybe some, like I told you sometime a week or two ago, you may think the Russell voters. I like to call him that. He was one of those that I heard said swing voters. You know what I mean? You have to watch out for those. Andre, there are a lot of people who are like that. You know, they're not, as I say, a party hack or a party supporter. They are swing voters. They are like for the country, or put it this way, for the country. If I think you are the better party to govern, then I will vote for you. If I think you're not, because you've proven that you're not. Like an example, maybe when the United Workers' Party were in power, when they got in 2016, there were probably some voters who went and say, I did not like, I think it was, Kenny Anthony who lost it, right? I did not like what Dr. Kenny Anthony was doing or the way he was running the country. So now I'll vote for the Alan Shastney party, or if you like the UWP, Alan Shastney being the leader, you know? So those voters, so you can see, Andrea, I remember you saying that, you can see the turn of events kind of thing, you know? The people are going and with the direction that they're going, you know? And you could see, well, wait a second, boy. That's Andrea, that too is one of the reasons why they're probably having this march, to see, and it's only, 2 years and a few months, right? To see where they stand right now. And if they see huge numbers come, whether they're wearing, just to your point, whether they're wearing just all yellow, it simply shows that there might be a shift, you know, in the things. Like when all the things that they bring up, you know, they got that we're going to march for. Okay, let's see if people really support that and they believe that. And then they go and they open up and they say, yeah, look at that, you know, our numbers and so on. They're doing a lousy job in government, you know, that kind of thing.
I'm just saying, from the incumbents' point of view, if they see that march there and it's predominantly yellow, right, they will just figure these are just supporters of the party. It's not a general feeling of the country itself. So even when, remember, the Prime Minister says next year before independence they plan to have a march as well.
That's right.
So I imagine it's going to be a sea of red. A sea of red again. Right? Does that mean that when you have a sea of red, that's the general feeling in the country that people like what you're doing? If it's just these are just your supporters.
Not necessarily. If there are a lot of people, and now
in red, I'm talking about red.
Mind you, there are some people who just in the crowd because the red is so dominant that you just don't see they're wearing different colors too, you know. And they're sometimes maybe just on the side listening to what's happening. You understand? Yes. So that happens.
Yeah. Well, okay. I wish them all the best. Yes. So Tony, a situation there in the schools. I think the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belma George, raised this issue of the prevalence of proactive drugs or proactive drug use in schools among a lot of young people. And she was saying that she thought it was just this thing with cannabis and so on, and she didn't say exactly which psychoactive drug she was referring to, but she says it's not just a question of the cannabis anymore. These children are involved in using some kinds of substances, and she said this is based on the police going in there and confiscating these things from those youngsters, those young people. So I was reading up on psychoactive drugs, and a psychoactive drug is a substance having a significant effect on mental processes. So if the children are using these drugs, especially during school time, she's right. We have a problem here.
Okay, there is a cause for concern.
Yeah, and as to how is this thing happening, and the parents are aware of it, that the children have access to these things, and where do they get them from? Are these things being made available to the children by adults? Right? Adults are the ones sharing, or the children have access to, I don't know, how do they get, I mean, for the most part, these young people don't really have a job, right? They're at home for the most part. So how do they get access to these psychoactive drugs? Where do they get them from?
First off, as parents, you give the children a little something for lunch, you know, that kind of way. You give them some money, and they use some of the monies to buy these, not drugs. Well, it is drugs, but You see things like Andre gummy bears and that kind of thing. Man, these things, they can make these things with these things now too. You know, they add a little something in there.
Yeah,
there are a number of things.
So the question is, who's adding the something?
That's the thing.
Are these adults doing that thing to ensure that they pass them on to those children?
Adults who are the ones making it, bagging it, and so on, and then just selling it. But you see, it is sold for adults. You understand? Oh, sorry. It is made for adults, but the children find when they taste that boy, they like the little niceness it give them. I'm just thinking,
like the marijuana cakes. I think they call them marijuana cakes.
You know the thing. You know the marijuana
cakes.
There are some brownies, some kind of something brownies.
Yes.
You've heard of it.
Our cousin, I think I can say so.
Which one? Just tell me which one.
Anselm.
Okay.
He spoke about his experience. He said he wanted to try it.
Yeah.
He said so, and he said, man, he'll never do that thing again.
For sure?
Yeah.
Just the way it made him feel?
Yeah. He said he ended up at the hospital.
With the brownies and so on?
Yes, correct.
Oh. Because I've heard people say, yeah, man.
So this is powerful stuff.
Yes. It's like
And you know, Tony, the last time I read about the research that's been done on, say, the cannabis that's being used today, the scientists are saying what is being made available to the public, those who use cannabis, is something totally different to what obtained years ago.
It's true.
Years ago, that was like a little pappy, it'll give it a little high. But they say right now that stuff there is the potency is at a completely different level.
That's right.
Yeah, the potency of this thing.
Yeah.
So, boy, Tony, I don't know. When we were growing up, drugs were not a thing. At least I know for sure.
Marijuana.
We were not really attracted to the use of drugs. I think the most probably maybe the smoking, a cigarette, and then the marijuana issue we had at the time. But remember what Mama used to say. Si moi sav zoka servisa
out the door.
Zodewo.
Out the door. And she somehow, Andre, I don't know if you ever got that. Somehow she thought I was using it, you know. Maybe because of my behavior.
You know, before.
That's right. The little rebel. You know what I mean? The rebel without a cause kind of thing. So she thought I smoked weed. Because zot fini sevi marijuana zot kavien coming back in the house.
I remember we had a cousin. By the way, Tony, what else have you heard from our cousin Morris? We call him Sam Stone.
Yes. Oh yeah, Sam Stone used to smoke his weed.
Big time.
Right.
His eyes are always red.
That's why we call him Sam Stone, because Stone. Remember, Stone was a phrase.
Yes.
You know, you're Stone.
Yes.
You know, you're Stone.
And I think in those days the song Sam Stone
that too
was popular.
That too. That's right. That's right. You know, so they call him
Stone out of your mind.
That's right. You're Stone out of your mind. Sam Stone, like you say, his eyes used to be red.
Red man.
No, I haven't heard from Sam Stone for a while. And I think a friend of ours, Norman Black, was telling me that Sammy, we're going to shorten it to Sammy. Sammy not doing so well.
Health-wise?
Yes, health-wise.
I'm sure he's not a young fella.
Unfortunately, Andre, when Norman told me that, I called him. And he recognized my number. And he said to me, I'll call you back. Not even saying hello. And I say, hey, I'm Sam Stone, this is Tony. Nothing. He just said, hey, what's happening? Okay, I'll call you back. I'm at work doing something. I'll call you back. And he never called.
Never called back.
That's right. So Sam Stone, hey, maybe he's all right, or he doesn't care. Yeah.
So he was the one I know who was using the marijuana. That's right. For sure. And he was literally in our environment.
Definitely.
Because remember, I think again, boy, Mama was just something else. You know, I mean, apart from taking us who were not her legitimate children, who were her grandchildren. She brought home Malol,
which is her mother.
Right, her mother who was staying home, and then Sammy came because I think he was related to Malol, right?
Yeah. Andre.
There was
Sam Stone was probably
either
Sam Stone. Let me see, one of Mama's brother or sister is Sam Stone, father or mother. Dolly Sia, one of them.
I wonder.
Yeah, man, Andre. Dolly Sia. I remember her saying that for sure. Dolly Sia was Sam Stone's mother.
So Tony, she was just an amazing woman to take on all these responsibilities, and let's give Lucky a little credit too.
He accepted
to put up with all of that, you know.
All of us.
Yes. So she was able, but he for sure he was in environment, and he used to use marijuana, but I didn't use that for sure.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
And you know, if I did, I'd say, hey boy, man, I was in that too. No.
So I don't understand.
I mean, never did.
Well, what is it about those substances that just seems to attract people? You know, especially at the young age. What is it that...
I can't speak from experience. Gosh, now that we're talking, I wish I did it, you know? Maybe, Andre, it's maybe the niceness. You see, like you said, when you drink your alcohol, you feel nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is. because I know when I drink it how I feel too. You know what I mean?
But the thing about those kinds of drugs, they alter your personality. They affect you in a way.
Fellas tell you that calm them, you know. But I mean, different stroke, different folks, right? Fellas tell you when they smoke their weed, man, it calms them, and you got feeling that you have of meditation. You know what I mean? You go into a meditation, or according to the Rastafari, meditation. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's Andre, it's that feeling. You know what I mean? And they like that feeling. You know, so they continue to do it. Now, maybe when you do something. A little of, let me do, Andrew, maybe smoking a little weed probably can't hurt, you know. Is to do it over and over and over and more and more and more. For example, you feel that little high and you say, yeah, I feel good for maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe more. Again, I've never done it, so I don't know. And then you want that feeling again. That's where the addiction comes in.
Yes.
You want that feeling again, or you want it constantly. Because when you take a walk down the road, your height's gone. You know, somebody interfere with you or tell you something, you want to tell them off, you figure if you're on your heights, you just say, you know, you're worried that, you know, you calm.
And you know, there's this aspect of the marijuana, especially where when the Rastafarian community, they smoke, I think they say it's part of their worship, religion, their worship and things like that, right? They worship. So I guess at that point then maybe they figure they won with the Most High.
Yes,
you know,
right. That
things
kind
like
of
that.
Yeah.
Now, let me juxtapose that, Tony, against the use of alcohol. I was at a funeral someplace a few years ago, and it was a funeral, and apparently some of the fellas in there already had a pre-wake. And if you know what I'm talking about,
Firing,
the fellas were firing
or smoking. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So we're not talking about the smoking; we're talking about the drinking.
The drinking.
The guys were firing. Much older guys.
Yeah.
Because I was at the church there. The guys were firing while the service was going on, and they were behaving badly inside the church itself during the actual funeral, to the point it actually looked kind of disrespectful. And I remember the priest, he got really, really angry, and he kind of shouted at them and said, you know, you don't have any respect for the house of God. This is how you're behaving and so on. So, Tony, when you juxtapose that against the use of marijuana to give praises to the Most High, right? Because at that time there, you're not in your quote-unquote natural state. You're on a high. The same thing would apply now for the alcohol on a high. The question is, do you think that God, right, recognizes the prayers, the meditation, things like if you're in a state where you're not in your normal frame of mind, right? Because we have to admit, once you smoke the marijuana or you use some kind of other substance, it affects the way you think and behave at that time. At that point, you can't get away from that. It does affect you. So the same thing now for the alcohol, right? It does affect the way you think and the way you behave. So I wonder if the Most High says, hey, that's cool. You know what I mean? He's high on marijuana, he's high on alcohol. I'll take that as praises. What's your take on that one?
Take a pen, take a note, and say, I'm going to have a show on that. Andre, great. It's going to be a hell of a show.
Okay.
Now, let me answer it. I think, let me tell you, see that one, Andre? I think we limit God too much. We put a limit on the God that we supposedly praise and so on. You can come to him, and that's what I think. Was it Jesus who said that, or whoever said that? Come to me in any state. I accept you. You've read that, right?
You're asking me that.
In any state, but come to me.
But it actually doesn't say that.
It doesn't say that?
Yeah.
But you've heard that, right?
You're speaking within the context of sin, right? That don't feel embarrassed to come and to, because some people feel I've done so much bad already in my life. I can't go before the Most High. He says, no, come. I'll accept you the way you are, but in other words, as an introduction to the relationship. But I do expect you to remain in that kind of position.
Fine.
Yeah.
So, come to me in whatever way you are, but please come to me.
Yeah.
You
but
understand?
the question is, Tony, do you come to him now on a regular basis as part of your worship?
Well,
in a state of bliss. Do you come to him in a state of bliss all the time?
All the time.
Yeah, you drink a few, take a few drinks, then you're feeling nice or even drunk, right? And you come in before the Most High. Forgive me, Father,
for I have sinned.
You know.
But it's your heart, and if you mean it. It's like the same thing about an apology. I cheated, so I'm sorry. If you mean it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. You
Yeah.
come there and you say, "I mean it." Listen, I'm worshiping. I'm praising. The funny thing about praise and worship is a feel-good factor at the time, just like the alcohol and I suppose the marijuana is a feel-good factor at the time. I've often said in my life to myself, now that we have a radio program talking and stuff, that whatever makes you feel good, reach for it. Don't overdo it. You need that, like they say, I need a pick-me-up boy. I need something to make me feel good. I know some people, Andre, sweet things make them feel good. They need that. Coffee make you feel good. Again, a pick-me-up kind of thing. I'll put it this way. I think you're going to love this one. If there's someone that every time you see them make you feel good, just sometimes by looking at them, go see that person, man, Andre. Go see that person. I just, you came to mind, and I just wanted to come and say hi, and you know what I mean? The person, I figure you're going to freak out on that one. The person makes you feel good. Hopefully, that's a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife. Hopefully, you know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully.
Or make that call, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it makes you feel good. So, but why would you want to do that? Because it makes me feel good. Most people say, because I want to, I felt like it. No, why you feel like it? It makes you feel good. You wouldn't do something that don't make you feel good, right?
Some people actually do. They do stuff. For example,
then you have a problem.
For example, if crack makes you feel good, right? You could say crack makes me feel good, but then again, this is something that's not good for
that's
you.
A case in point I give you there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It makes you feel good. Just don't overdo it.
Crack?
Andre, hear me out.
Cocaine?
You know
Tony.
You know what the problem is? Overindulgence of almost everything. Overindulgence.
But there's a danger, Tony. There's a danger in certain. Okay, we're just talking about certain drugs. If you try crack cocaine, there's a high probability you're going to get hooked on that thing.
Well, there you go. So you overdo it.
One
time you take it, probably there's
the drug breaks down your resistance to resisting it. So that may not be.
Is that scientifically proven?
Why do you think people are so hooked at that? Even alcohol too.
It's right. Addiction. Maybe that's what you're talking about. It breaks down. What do you say? It breaks down.
Yeah, your ability to resist it. Yeah.
Andrew, I like alcohol. I like alcohol.
Maybe
the last time I drank anything with alcohol was Sunday. Today's Friday. Huh? Okay.
Yes.
Control.
The only thing is for 3 days.
Yeah. No, for 4. 4 without, 3 with. You understand?
Yeah. So what time you'll start in tonight, by the way?
Whatever time Blau tell me. I wish I just call me when you're ready, boy. Call me when you're ready.
Okay.
Buddy.
All right. Tony, just before we leave, we just need to mention that Sean Diddy Combs seems to have gotten himself into some hot water there.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, with a lady. Apparently, he used to date this lady.
She fine.
He had a relationship. She's a fine-looking woman.
Sierra. No, not Sierra.
Cassie.
Her name is Cassie.
Cassie,
fine. Cassie. I can't remember her last name. Maybe it's there. Cassandra something.
So she's alleging that she was trafficked, she was raped, and viciously beaten by Combs during the course of the relationship. Wow.
Sometimes, Andre, boy, what can I say? Is it true? Of course, Diddy is saying, meaning P. Diddy is saying, hey, that ain't happening. That ain't never happened. But sometimes, Andre, yeah.
But the thing is, you'd imagine people like that, like Cassie, most likely high self-esteem, and I'm assuming she has high self-esteem. But let's just assume that she does have high self-esteem. Why would she allow herself to be trafficked? To be raped?
Well, not I don't think she was saying necessarily her.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Trafficked?
Yes, she was trafficked.
Oh, she actually said that?
Yeah, she was trafficked.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she said she was raped, and she was viciously beaten by Combs. Yeah.
I thought
during the course of the relationship.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I thought you were saying in terms of the trafficking. That's what
you mean. He's involved in trafficking?
That kind of way.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's a serious. If that be the case, that wouldn't be a state. That wouldn't be a private person taking Combs to court. That would be the state who get involved.
Exactly.
Like in the case of what's his name again? R. Kelly.
Yes.
Boy, that's a serious thing.
So I thought it was something like that. Maybe whether human or sex trafficking.
No. So
read that line again.
Cassie alleges in the filing that she was trafficked, raped and viciously beaten by Combs during the course of their relationship.
Wow.
Right. So I'm
Okay.
just saying, if, I'm assuming that this is a lady with high self-esteem, why would she allow herself to be trafficked, to be raped? Because I suspect it's probably a repeated thing, and to be beaten and so on. I'm saying leave that for some person who is ignorant, somebody low self-esteem, and who doesn't have the resources to move on and to get out of that kind of environment. So if she's staying there, something's wrong.
She probably has. Andre, come to think of it, Cassie. I know Cassie did 2 songs, and I'm wondering if she did a movie or 2, because again, she's really good looking and stuff. So I wonder if she did a movie or 2. But I know Cassie for 2 songs. You and Me and another one. I can't quite remember. You know. So again, she probably did well. Now the thing is, Andre, control. You know, you asked the question, so let me go there. Control, Andre. So her 2 songs that she probably did, maybe that's where they got together. She and Diddy, maybe Diddy produced her. All right. Again, I'm alleging here. You know, I'm just saying. He produced her. And then he the money man, you know what I mean? He the man.
Yeah, and I guess same thing we speak about all the time.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose the status.
That's what I'm talking about.
Having access to vehicles and the good life. Yeah.
Hello.
Well, now she's had enough of it, and something must have gone wrong for her to come out now to take him to court.
Maybe
so that's going to be explosive, you know, Tony. When that thing goes to court, because all the nastiness and the filth and everything is going to come out. Now we're going to hear things about Combs, but we're going to freak out.
Yeah.
Because this is a lady obviously was close to him.
Right. His
so,
girlfriend.
boy, it's going to be terrible.
It seems like for a few years, they were together. And I didn't even realize that Cassie was his girl, honestly. But Andrea, the thing with that is, gosh, I know time.
Yes.
The thing with that is, being in that situation, let's just say for Cassie, that exact situation, Cassie probably went through all what she went through. And sometimes you figure, okay, I'm dealing with it. Now, let me get some help. Help meaning people to advise you, people to tell you how to roll, what to do, etc. And one of the first things they tell you, get a lawyer. Secure yourself before you go out there with all of that. So you get a lawyer, a really good one at that, really expensive one, and then you take from him a hell of a lot. You understand?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you say enough is enough. I can't live that way no more.
And I'm saying that because in the case of R. Kelly, see all the filth that came out? All the filth that came out, because these are people who are close to you and they watch you, they know all your business. And I don't like that kind of behavior, Tony, where somebody knows all the scum in your life and they put up with it. They say nothing. They're there with you, but at the appropriate time, they will come now and expose you.
That's right.
I don't like that at all. Right? So for the person's own good, in the case of R. Kelly, I know for sure people testified in his trial that they told him what he was doing there was not right. It wasn't right, and they left. They moved out of the environment. But some people hang around and they
same thing.
They don't say anything. They don't say anything.
Power.
And at the right time, they just let that thing go there. So this is going to get really, really nasty when it gets to court.
Yeah.
Or should I tell you?
Because you know Diddy is loaded, Andrew.
Well, boy, after that, R. Kelly was loaded too.
Exactly.
Now he's dead broke.
Exactly.
I can tell you that. And you know the worst part, there are a lot of people giving pressure not to play his music. So he won't get royalties and so on.
Right. Because I talked to you yesterday. I think I played an R. Kelly. You know,
I love his music.
Me too.
I love his music.
You were a big with Happy People and all of that.
Yeah, yes. I love his music.
Yeah.
Step
Step was a big one that you liked a lot too. You know he has a Christmas song?
He has about 2.
Right.
I really love.
I'll be stepping this Christmas.
That's right.
And there's the other one,
Yeah. And talking about it, Tony, just before we end, the 22nd of November.
St. Cecilia.
St. Cecilia, you've been pushing it, and good for you. And as I said, traditionally, this is the day that, most, not anymore. A lot of stations start their Christmas music early. But some people stick to the tradition. I'm one of the some.
I don't know who a lot of people who some is. I know Andre Paul has stuck to the tradition.
All right. Okay, so next week, Wednesday's going to be 22nd?
Wednesday, 22nd,
yeah.
that's right.
Okay, it's now time for our giveaway.
$97.1 can be yours. All you got to do is give us a call right now. And the phone numbers, usually I use the WhatsApp platform, especially for the Lucky 3, because, it's kind of easier there. But the other number is 572-9710. If you prefer that number, you call it. Is there anyone on the line?
Of course, on the WhatsApp platform.
The WhatsApp platform, hi.
Hi, good morning, Andre. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, sir.
And how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Where are you calling from?
Ravin Shabbat.
Oh, Shabbat.
One of our
is in the
regular
house.
callers. One of our regular callers.
That's right.
Thanks for accepting my call. Huh?
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
No problem.
As
no
always.
problem, man. All right.
Yeah.
You ready? Here's how it works, of
I'm ready.
course, for the benefit of listeners who probably forgot. The way it works is that to win $97.1, we ask you a few questions, at least maximum 5. Each question is worth $20, up to, again, 5 questions, roughly. And, of course, when you answer the first question, we ask if you want to keep your $20, because that's what it's worth. You say yes and you want to move on. We ask you to move. Well, we don't ask you. We let you make the choice. You want to move on? You move on. We double up and add another $20 to that, which is $40 for the second question. Third question, we add another $20, etc., as we go through to $97.1. My friend from Shabbat, are you ready for question number 1?
Yes, sir.
For $20, here is your first question. What is the name of the song that got second place for 2023 Road March title?
Second place.
Second place.
The name? Grippy?
No. No, that's not right. But Grippy was a real nice one. I think Grippy might have been. Now, I could be wrong. Listeners, I could be wrong. And the viewers, I could be wrong on that one. I think Grippy was last year, But he didn't win Road March or anything. But Andrew, there is. You know the song Grippy, right?
I heard it already. Let me
Okay.
just ask, sir, excuse me. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 59.
59. And he knows Grippy.
You know Grippy,
Good one.
Yes.
Yes, I. Keep that mind nice and young.
I think the applause Andre gave you is just because you know Grippy.
Yeah, I forgot he knows Grippy.
But of course, he's wrong, right?
Of course, I know that.
Yeah, man.
All right, so that's it, Tony?
That's it.
Okay, until you have your lucky 3
That's right.
later today. So keep it locked until 3 o'clock this afternoon. In fact, keep it locked for the rest of the day and night because Tony's coming on next. And keeping with the tradition of St. Cecilia, Tony, bravo. Good job. You've been giving a lot of information, especially about the local artists.
Yeah.
Well done. I heard your interview with A.G. Simpson.
Yeah.
Yes. Tony, I when I meet Tedderson John, I said to Tedderson, you are a walking miracle, I say that to him.
Why?
And I say the same thing for AG.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, see Tedderson's, when he speaks to you, like
Lisp.
he has his horse or
He's
something.
hoarse, right? And he has a lisp. Yeah.
Yeah, and this guy is able to transform, from that horse sort of voice and the lisp and so on, and produce some great stuff. And I say, but you're a walking miracle. How do you do that?
Yeah.
The same thing for AG. You listen
Right.
to AG speak and so on. And when AG starts to sing, it's a different person there.
That's
completely.
right. That's right.
These guys are so talented, man.
They're tremendously talented.
Yeah, really talented.
Tedderson, that's my boy.
Yeah.
Andre, for me. Arthur, feel no way. Arthur, okay, let me see Arthur Charles, Arthur, my
Ale.
partner, Arthur Ale, feel no way. It has been proven that you're the groovy soca monarch king.
Yes.
4 in a row, and then taking a break and coming back and winning another one. Andre, he bad. But for me, Tedderson, almost untouchable. I swear to you.
Yes,
when it
yes,
comes to
yes.
groovy soca, oh yeah.
Yes.
He the man.
It's amazing. There are lots of walking miracles in St. Lucia. I'm talking about as far as musicians are concerned, just raw talent.
Yes.
Imagine these guys were living in some place like the United States where they can go to music school and so on. Imagine. The
yes.
sky would be the limit, man.
Yes.
The sky
I've
would be the
often
limit.
said that.
That's just raw talent.
Raw talent.
Gee.
But like you said, oh gosh, Andre, we could talk about things like that the whole day. You
I
know?
heard you talking to AG and telling AG about reading music,
Yeah.
and I think he said he couldn't read the music.
No. He can't read no music.
I think he spoke about playing
Play by
bass.
ear.
You know how difficult it is to play a bass guitar and sing at the same time?
I heard that.
Boy, that is extremely challenging.
So playing the guitar is
Yeah,
easier.
a lot easier.
Okay.
Even playing the drums is easier.
Okay.
And sing.
singing.
And to
Wow.
sing while you're playing a bass guitar,
Wow.
That's raw talent, man. Raw talent.
Okay.
Okay, I got to get out of here. Yeah, thanks a lot for being with me this morning. I'll be back on Monday, same time, 5 o'clock, right here on Rev-Up St. Lucia for another Wake Up and Live. Don't forget, you can check me out tonight. I'll be at DAX, okay? Country and Western, Old School. The same thing applies for Saturday and at Anchor Bees. Country and Western, Old School. But you know, Tony, what we do these days, we mix it up, with
a little new, a little
Afro beats and so on. Coming in real nice.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.